Yeah. Ghost, we make him fly like a ghost. If he want talk on the game, the heater gon' turn into toast. If he pull out and we spliffed him, he was just doing a distance. Promise we ain't gon' miss him. His soul gon' fly when we lift him. Bye, good riddance. Why is this harm her feelings? To the top on a mission. I got a shot, take it with precision. You ain't up if you ain't down to get it. Fuck your bob if you ain't bobbing with us. No, no, no. Bye, bye, bye. Clock him out, he ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. You ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. Headshot, knock him out. Ah, get him, bye, good riddance. Sorry I had to do this. Sorry I'm being a nuisance. I just gotta get it. Hi, I'm Mary Jeans on my Louis V for the belt. 2 G's for the belt. Know the heater gon' make 'em out. Promise the heater gon' make 'em out. OD niggas know me. I just move along with the hand I throw.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday to everybody. We're gonna do quick roll call because I know it's annoying. But that's what we do. Hey, Marianne Hope, how are you, sis? I hope you are well. Hey, Vera, my sweetie pie. Hi, Just John. Nice to see you. Hey, JJ Manita, how are you? Okay. Hey, Miss Manda, how are you? My sweetie pie. Bliss Chris, my sweetie pie. Hey, Megs, my sweetie. I need to message you, but you've been in my prayers and love you. Hi, Pat Wetzel, my New York girl. Oh, yeah. Well, she's not my New York girl, but I'm her New York girl. Yeah, okay. I know what I meant. Hey, Pamela Barr, my sweetie. How you doing? Hi, Mikey. Hola, how are you? Thank you all for being here. How are you, JJ, on this Sunday?
I am good, I'm good. I'm being a casual observer of some things that are going on. But first, I need to address this real quick. And I have a bone to pick with you, ma'am. I was looking at my picture on your thumbnail, and I'm like, what the hell did Cindy do? Did she erase some of my hair out of that or something? Because I look a little
No,
bald up there in the middle. I'm like, I
no,
got more hair than that. What the
no, no.
hell?
What happened was I deleted the background. So it only shows the part of your hair that was in the picture. Okay, no, no, no. Because I cropped it. So I guess I cropped it too much. I cropped the top, just like mine.
Yeah, you
Mine
did me
stopped
dirty,
right
girl. I
here.
look bald.
I'm sorry.
Head is
I'll fix
scallywag.
it. Okay, I will fix the thumbnail
It's okay.
after the
It's okay.
live. I
I
will fix
forgive you.
it.
I was just making
Sorry
note of
about
it that I
that.
actually do have hair and I am not a bald headed
She
scallywag.
is not. She is not. Hey, Stormy Rivers, my sweetie pie. Corn's mom, how are you, my beautiful girl? So good to see you. Hey, my Wanda Steves, how are you? Sorry, JJ cracks me up. Rhinestone, how are you feeling? I know you haven't been feeling well. I'm glad to see you. I hope that you are feeling a little better. Thank you for being here, even if you just listen. Thank you, Miss Manda. Miss Manda, I didn't get your text messages. So what I'm gonna do is call you. I was gonna call you before the live. Sorry, guys, to say this, but I couldn't get in contact with her, so I have to say it publicly. I texted you, and I know you said you texted me back, but I don't see your text messages. So what I'll do is after the live, I'll call you, because I wanted to talk to you, but I didn't get your text messages. So I was like, damn it. How do I tell her I'm not getting her damn text messages? So I just saw you here, so I wanted to tell you. But thank you for the super chat. Happy Sunday, my beautiful favorite ladies. Love you both, and we love you too. So I will be calling you right after the live, Miss Manda. Celia Ward, my New York sister. How are you guys? Okay, so before we get into anything, I have a members only, excuse me, scheduled for tomorrow. Um, and we're going to talk about some stuff that happened because it is the elephant in the room with Jen Bailey. But for anybody that's a member, I know you probably have seen that I have a live schedule. Ari Sue, where's my Ari Sue? I didn't see her. Oh, there she goes. Hi, Aries Sue. How are you, beautiful? I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I just
Hey.
saw somebody say hi to her, and I was like, hey, I don't see her. Hey, Jay Tucker. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, anyway. Um, so I have a members only live scheduled for tomorrow. As you guys know, Breezy Girl is our friend, and she's been uploading videos of Jen Bailey. She just uploads Jen Bailey's words. So tomorrow I wanted us to discuss it, show pieces of different lives of the things Jen Bailey has said. We are not here to diagnose. We are just want to have a discussion, and I want to do it in members only, just so that her family, her kids, anybody that comes across, looking for her won't see it. Again, I'm not trying to judge anybody else. Listen, do what you want on your channel. I just don't want to add to it right now, because people may not know Jen Bailey is in jail. Jen Bailey was arrested yesterday, for DV, for putting her hands on Mike. So she is currently in jail. She was not given bond because she has to see the judge. When you get arrested on the weekend, you don't see a judge. Sometimes in New York, if you're lucky, it depends on the time. Saturday, you may get in to see a judge. She wasn't that lucky. She has to wait till Monday, which is tomorrow, to see a judge. Um, I know Corn's mom. Um, so she has to wait till tomorrow. And I think, in my opinion, as somebody who's been to jail, I think she will be released on her own recognizances, and told to come back to court and all this stuff. So I want to talk about that more in depth, about my experience in jail, and even though she's in another state, how that process goes. Hi, Virgie, like a Virgie. Sorry. Anyway,
Touch for the very first time. I'm gonna sing the whole damn song.
right. So I wanted to talk about how the process is here in New York, and maybe show you guys there are some YouTube shows. I don't know if it's on YouTube, but they put them on YouTube about jail. I've seen Nevada. It's very different than central booking here in New York. So I wanted to talk about that process and talk about some of the videos and just discuss it with you guys. We are going to talk a bit about Jen Bailey today, um, but not to the extent that I want to do tomorrow. I mean, we're going to play videos tomorrow. That's going to be the difference, I think.
Right.
Um,
Touching on specific things tomorrow
yes,
rather
right,
than a general overview. Because Cindy
right.
and I, what's crazy is that obviously we're friends. We talk behind the scenes, behind
Yeah.
behind the panel, behind the YouTube. And
Yes, yes,
every time we watch a stream, it's like we can see the valid points that
yes,
everyone has.
that
And
everyone
we're
has.
not experts. I don't
No
know
way.
how to handle this, even though I have a family member that is as severe as Jen. I can
Yes.
say that, as severe. And that's pretty much when she's not taking her medication. And I've been screaming that from the rooftops. Hello, what we're seeing here is someone who is
Hey,
severely
baby.
bipolar. And she said she's bipolar, so that isn't me diagnosing her.
No, she said
And
it herself.
off
Right.
of her yes, and off of her meds and not doing what she's supposed to do, and count in an ED where she's not getting the nutrients she needs. And I know a lot of people don't care what the reason is. I get it. I understand it. Because listen, this is where I have a tough time because, and I see everybody's valid points, because if somebody comes after my kid,
Yes.
um, yeah, there's going to not be any rules of how I come back at
Yes.
you. And
Yes.
like I said in a chat earlier, and I think it was Heidi Black's chat, that um, we don't look at people who commit crimes like serial killers and uh, the P word with children,
Excuse
CMs.
me. Yes.
We don't look at those people and go, oh, well, they're mentally ill, so let's just get them help. Most of
Right.
us want them eradicated, okay, from the planet. And do I say that Jen is in that same situation? I don't know, because she does have it in her to be violent. We've
Yes.
seen it.
Yes.
So I don't, and I'm not a doctor. I can only speak on what we see and what I've dealt with my own family member. and everybody's points is valid. I completely understand where
Everyone's.
Jules is coming from with the
Yes.
whole,
Yes.
basically we are gifting Jen a reality show.
Yep.
She got her own reality show and everybody's watching it. And look at us, here we are talking about it, because how do you not? It's
Right.
going on. You're enthralled. You're thrust into it. Is it like an obsession or an addiction? No, but I do like to get caught up on whatever I'm missing. Like, oh, what happened? What happened during these hours? Whatever. Because it's fascinating. It's interesting because it's not normal. This person is behaving abnormally, and it's human nature to kind of want to see what happens in the outcome. It just is. Otherwise, a lot of us wouldn't be watching. So I get it. I get where everybody is coming from. I do. I don't think anyone is wrong
Oh
in
my
this
God.
situation.
I'm sorry. A protest is coming through my street, guys. So you're gonna
What?
hear it right at this moment. A damn protest has to be coming through my damn street. The
A
quietest
protest for
street.
what? What they
I.
protesting?
What the actual fuck? I have no idea. What are they? What signs are? Oh, nah, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. They had all day to do this shit. I have no
Yeah.
idea. Hi, Becky G. How are you? And what the hell, Shay? Blue trolls are on the loose. Hey, but that troll, I love that troll from the movie Trolls. Um, and hey, Patty Brunner, my beautiful girl. So wait, Corn's mom asked the question, and wait, somebody else, my baby was here, so I'm so wait at forever ish. Oh, hey, baby. Okay. Corn's mom asked the question. Okay, serious. She serious question.
Okay.
If you get locked up on DV, you can't be around the person you DV'd, right? I don't know. I know that here in New York, you can't. Um, and I'm going to keep this very general, but somebody I know was arrested for DV, and
Hmm.
an immediate order of protection was put in place. The person couldn't even go back to the home that they shared together. The person wasn't allowed to come back home at all, and had to continue going to court until it was resolved. Again, I don't know about Ohio. Ohio's there, it seems way different over there.
They're
So I don't
fugazi. I'm
know.
sorry. They're a whole
Yeah,
lot of fugazi. They cut,
yeah,
and
I
I
don't
and
know.
again, we understand that there has to be a law broken, but it took
Yes,
one police officer that
yes.
was willing to listen and willing to
On Diva.
accept videos and things that she's doing to solve the problem. Because here's the reality: the cops wanted it to go away. They didn't want people calling. They didn't want this. They didn't want that. Well, then you have to do something, because this woman was basically
Yes.
weaponizing lies, because a lot of it, 99% of it was not true, and a lot of us know that, but then there are some people that completely believe it, and that's the
Mm.
scary part.
That's the thing. And hi, Viva La Roca. And we need to keep Viva La Roca in our prayers. You guys know she just
Of
suffered a loss,
course.
and someone else in her family is not doing well. So we just want to keep her in our prayers. I want to respect her privacy and don't want to put her whole business out there unless she states it here. But Viva La Roca, you are in our prayers, of course.
Yes.
So I wanted to say that. Um, Wait, if order of protection is placed, they can't stay, right? But
Hmm.
sometimes like, with us, the order of protection was put in place. It wasn't even like you had to go to court and do it.
There
It
was
was
no choice. There was
right,
no choice. It
right.
happens here in Florida too, and it's like that situation, and I bring it
Oh, I
back
heard
to,
you.
because
Sorry, good. Sorry.
I bring it back to Gabby Petito, how Gabby was, they went out there and then they made them separate just for the night. Well, here, there is no way.
Yes.
I mean, I even grew up in a domestic violence household, and I
Right.
know other friends who were in the middle of it. It's horrific and it's hard,
Mm,
and you don't know what to do about it. But the reality is, you don't get to, the cops are supposed to separate you and tell you regardless,
right.
no, you can't stay. And if you don't figure it out which one is going, who hit who, then you're both going to jail, and they
Yes.
will do
Yep.
that. They
Yep.
will wholehearted. I know for sure because I've seen it happen. So this is not a
Yes.
I'm just guessing or whatever. These things do happen. So Ohio just blew my mind on how
I
lackadaisical
know.
and
And I
fugazi they
understand
are.
too, like I was going back and forth with somebody on Reddit. They calling me unhinged and stuff because
Unhinged? What? You?
yeah, because I was saying that Jen needs consequences.
She
And I
does.
didn't mean, I'm not delusional. I don't think that anybody should be arrested for being a horrible person. Like come on. That's not what I was saying. But what I was trying to say was it's different, right, for us. Okay. And again, I'm not telling anybody how to feel, how to react. So I need to preface that because I would never do that. I'm not going to tell anybody how they should feel about a situation, especially if it involves you, right? And I think too many people want to label other people the enemy of the state. I said that in Just Jules, and I mean that in the way that if on YouTube, if you don't agree, you're an enemy
Yep.
automatically.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's not always that black and white. There's a lot of mitigating factors. There just are. We're human beings. I go back and forth all the time with Jen Bailey. Now, don't misunderstand me. My sympathy for her is gone, especially after the way she spoke to her child. Now, that's what I was trying to say, that there's people in her real life, right? Like her daughter that doesn't have a choice. Mike, who lives in the home with her as a roommate, is a grown man. Okay. He chooses for the most part, right? Whatever he may feel stuck or trapped, but he is still a grown ass man who can pick up and leave. Her daughter can't. If her daughter just disappears, she'll call the police. She's a runaway. If she goes, just leaves and disappears with her father, the father can get arrested. So the daughter was the only one that was really stuck because she was a minor. She was the only reason that I felt any empathy for the situation was because of the daughter. The daughter is no longer there. She's with her father. And there were real consequences because the more frustrated, the more angry Jen became, the more she took it out on the people that were there that she could touch and scream at and feel 24/7. We had to deal with Jen. Imagine anybody who here who has been angry, frustrated to the point of rage with Jen, right? Imagine that in the whole grand picture, that was a small window of time. Her daughter had to deal with that 24/7. And I could tell you for a fact that somebody that's manic like that is waking you up all times of the night. They have no regard for you
Yep.
sleeping, for
Yep.
anything. They want to
100%.
talk. They're raging. They're gonna wake you up. They're gonna scream at you. They're the most important thing. So her daughter and the people that were there had to deal with this 24/7. That's all I was ever trying to say on Reddit. And there's somebody that just always, everybody's unhinged if you have a different opinion. The
I'm
fuck?
so unhinged. I think differently than you. It is weird like that on YouTube. And we sit up here and we talk about the weird things and it's like we have to practice what
Okay.
we preach. If we're feeling something is going on, like
Hey,
I
Jordan.
say it, I can feel it. I've said that. I've felt it since this whole shift with Jen and who perceives who of supporting and who absolutely doesn't, who doesn't care what happens to her, whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm somewhere in the middle because I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be. I'm not
Yes.
going to pretend to
Thank
be.
you.
I don't know what the answers are. We're not here to
Yeah.
give any sort of answers. We're just giving a little bit
Hey,
of
Welsh.
commentary and our
Yeah.
opinions on things
In
that
our
we are
opinion.
seeing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In real
that's all
time.
it is
That's all it
real
is.
time, exactly, seeing these things. And I've felt the cold shoulder from
Oh my
people
God,
that
me
and
too.
from people that I never had anything bad to say about or anything, just kind of like, oh, you're over there, you're a part of this, you're a part of
Yes,
that. And
me too. And it makes
come
me
on, we're
sad.
adults, we're not stupid. We can totally tell when someone is given a cold shoulder or has an issue but just doesn't want to say so. And for me, like I told Cindy, it's just better to ask a person or flat out say I'm feeling like I'm getting the cold shoulder, because if we're going to get up here and say act like adults, I can tell you guys, just walking away quietly doesn't
Yes.
always work well. it doesn't. I
It
know from
doesn't. It
experience, people
doesn't.
get mad and they will
Yes.
make you a target. So it's
Yep.
better to fix any hard feelings or whatever. And for me, as I've said many times, if I'm forced to
So,
choose, then they chose for me. Whoever forcing me to choose, they chose for me, and it will always be the other person
Stormy, no. No, mama.
when
No.
it didn't need to be. I'm a
Sorry.
grown up. I'm not going to be told where to go.
I
I don't do
agree.
group think or group mentality. To me, that's
No.
crazy. It's but I
And
can see
please,
valid points by everybody. Let
yes.
me just say that.
And please, and Pat, what? So I did see your message, and I will be looking for your email, mama, so that I could give you my phone number. And hi, Welsh. Hi, juror number 6. Um, there was something else. Dang it. I can't remember now, but
Oh,
um,
we got Stormy saying, I get what you're saying. You're not wishing anything bad. We need accountability and consequences. That's life. Enablers don't realize they're over helping and actually hurting.
yes.
100%.
Yes.
100%. She has been enabled with this behavior and weaponizing,
Okay, mama.
CPS and the police and all of that for so long. So, do I want to jump up and say, yes, it's about damn time? Sure. And a part of me does. But then the other part of
Okay.
me says, well, this might be her only chance for help. So I'm glad it happened because it might be the judge might order her into some kind of, we don't know what's going to happen, but at least it's something. At least it's something. It's get she can no longer have the attitude. I'm gonna call. You're going to prison. You're in so much trouble. You're this. You're that. While
She
her
thought she
ass
was
is sitting in jail.
untouchable. She thought she
Yeah,
was
she thought she
untouchable.
was untouchable, and she uses the womanly I'm so sweet and the
Yes.
manipulation
Yes.
she admits it.
Yes.
She is a master manipulator. She
She said
says
it.
that.
Yes.
She says it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't be behind her. I can't do
No.
that. And I get why people are outraged and pissed. And then I also
I do too.
understand that this person has a family and a child that still has to deal with her ass.
Yes.
So
And that's the thing too, JJ, that it's just so difficult. And I want to say this for anybody that may be watching or may watch on the replay. We are saying here and now we don't want to, we're not going to be disrespectful to anybody, right? People that may have a difference of opinion, we are staying neutral in all of it. Honestly, we're not going to dog anybody in any chats. Judge us for what we're saying. Judge us for what we're saying in chats. Now, if you see us in chat and we're talking shit about you, then of course judge me for that. But for being in chats and trying to navigate YouTube differently than I did in the past, and trying to still be able to enjoy everyone without getting involved in it, because again, we've said it before. Hold on, my son, he needs to close the door. Sorry. Sorry, he's in the room and he's still screaming. Anyway, we're trying to do it differently than we did before, because things, you know how you can see there's people that were cool, they fall out, and then in the future may be cool again. So if we come and we're like, yeah, she's a bitch for this and she did it, and then they reconcile, we are the assholes for having
yeah,
said
yep,
things in chats or against them. And now we're not trusted by any of them, because they're like, damn, she was so quick to choose over here, over there, or whatever. So we're staying out of it and hoping that people can either, reconcile, or just it'll die down eventually. You know what I mean?
right,
The animosity will die down eventually. But either way, I'm not going to contribute to that conversation in a negative way at all. I'm there to enjoy the creator and the chats. And you can see anything I say in chat will not be negative towards anyone else. I don't do that. I know that I am not Harry Potter. I do not have a cloak of invisibility. I know that. I know that I'm responsible for my words, and I don't want to fight with anybody. I enjoy so many people and I just want to remain that way. I'm trying to be like Mama T. I'm trying to be like Virgie and Mama T, that are the most neutral people I've ever seen on YouTube. And that's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to stay out of it and just enjoy people and not stick my nose in it. But I wanted to say hi, Vixie, my girl crush, and hi, Tina, my sis. I wanted to say with Jen, it's what's difficult for me is that she does manipulate. She does manipulate, and that's why I also said that I think that this needed to happen. Not that I wish jail on anyone, guys, okay? But just listen to me for a second, okay? Jail saved my life. Jail saved my life, guys. I was on the road to terrible things. And when I got arrested and I did that time, it scared me straight. Not because jail was, because I was fine in jail. I didn't have any problems because I minded my business. I didn't beg. I didn't borrow in jail. And that's the three things. And that's why I'm a little worried about Jen. But again, Jen is a manipulator. I think Jen is a chameleon. She can, she can, what is it? She can become accustomed to any of her situation, just like in the last live that she was on, where she was demanding the cops, because that is Jen's MO. Jen has been able to get away with that, telling the cops what they're gonna do, talking to the cops reckless, because Jen has a certain amount of privilege. I'm not trying to make it about race. I'm talking about just privilege in general. Jen has that. She has privilege and she knows it, and she's an entitled Karenina. So she talks to any and everybody that way, right? So she would keep saying, "I'm not going to jail. You're going to jail." She held that over Mike's head all the time, and she would say that, "You want me to tell your secrets? You want me?" And it was working for her, that manipulation.
Yeah.
And she needed this because she needed reality. She needed a reality check that you're not untouchable, because Jen was getting the worst I've ever seen her. She was getting the worst I'd ever seen her. Now she says the most horrendous things about people, makes accusations about people doing things to children, and recently in the last day or two, she was threatening to harm people, to stomp people out, to knock people's teeth out, to knock knock somebody's head off their shoulder and piss down their throat, and all this craziness. Like, and I felt like it was going to get dangerous with people in her household, because Jen can't control her impulses. Jen has a hand problem. Hello, she has a hand problem. We've seen videos
Yes.
where she hits Clint. Do you think she wasn't going to hit Mike? She knocked the tooth out in the past. Jen has not changed. She's gotten worse. So it was going to get where one of them were going to hurt each other, because Jen thinks that she was untouchable, that she could keep saying, "Look how little I am. Look how big he is." That was her manipulation. These big men are scared of me. Yeah, because they weren't hitting you back. So it
Well,
was going to get dangerous, in my opinion.
and for me, I really didn't for a long time until very, very recently. I did not have an ounce of
I agree,
empathy
Welsh.
for Mike because I looked at
Exactly.
Mike as an enabler, and he 100% is an enabler. There's no doubt about that. However, the way I saw it is if, say, Mike was the female and Jen was the male, would we all be saying that? Or
Mm-hmm.
would we be saying it was more like a Stockholm syndrome or something where the abuser has such power over you? There are people that have
Yeah.
been kidnapped,
Yes.
that have been allowed to live life as normal because the person who kidnapped them have successfully brainwashed them into
True.
living a certain way, and that
True.
their real families, wouldn't want them back. Look at JC Dugard, if any of you
Yes.
have ever read that book. And that's why I look at Clint and Mike as people who um I I think that they are just like battered men, like I just do. That's just the way I
Yeah.
feel. I
Yeah.
can't help it because I think that if I have to look at it and say, if Jen were a man and Mike were a woman, would we be saying, "Oh, she's at
Yes.
fault. She's at fault.
You're right.
She could have left. She lied to the police
True.
about him." How many women lie to police about a man who has hit them? Many.
Yes. Yes.
Many women don't let a man go to jail if a neighbor hears them fighting. She could be all battered and bruised, but she's still going to say, "Wasn't my man. I
Oh, yes,
fell.
he is.
I tripped and fell."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it happens. So
Yes.
that I've had to check myself a few times because really, I mean, the enabling is
Yep.
crazy. But at
Yep.
the same time, is he in some sort of abusive situation? And yesterday, he was the one with the bloody lip, not
Yes.
Jen.
Yes. And JJ, I wanted to say if the roles were reversed too, would people be as understanding to Mike, or if had it been Clint, would people, you understand, like Jen has gotten passes, all these abuse
Yes.
videos have come out. We hear the way she talks to people. Someone was telling her that her picture, she was making fun of somebody's picture that was in her live, and she said that that was a child that she had lost, and she said she didn't care about her child and all this disrespectful stuff. I can't. And I think that's where people's anger comes from. And I agree with Vera, and I agree with juror number six. The people in actively enabling her, not people trying to still show her kindness. Listen, I'm not even going to say, there are people that regardless they still try to extend kindness to people, be it because of their naivete. I don't know their own life experience where who knows, right? I'm talking about the people that were egging her on, starting shit. Oh, do you know that Jules is doing this? Oh, you know Terry Lynn is doing this right now, and not only feeding her information but feeding her wrong information. Oh, yeah, that's why Clint's girlfriend is beautiful and Clint got a new girlfriend. Like, okay, the point of that is what? It feels good for a second, right? To see her, that's what they think. Oh, I'm gonna, get to see her live reaction when I tell her this and see her lose it. But it doesn't help the people that she's targeting. Like she
Right.
wanted to get people swatted. She wanted to call CPS on people. And again, I keep bringing it back to the people that she can tangibly affect, because she punched Mike in the mouth. We heard her daughter, the way she was talking to her daughter, where her daughter finally couldn't take it. And I think that what brought it to a boiling point is Clint. Clint is the catalyst. Jen cares about Clint. Everything is about Clint. When
Yep.
Clint left her is when the switch went off, because everything is, I want Clint, find Clint, da 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 da. And what happened was that her daughter left. Her daughter finally found it out and took it, thank God. And Jen wanted to go find her daughter. And the daughter said no. Her daughter wasn't coming back home. She got out. The hell am I go back in there for? No. And that's why Jen was at 100. And then Rena Center came to repossess the furniture. So everything is just hitting her. Again, I'm not making excuses. I'm just stating facts. I'm just telling you guys what's going on. I'm not making excuses for her behavior before somebody says that I'm making excuses. I'm telling you
No,
the chain of
she's
events. The chain of events. She had her
right.
boyfriend leave her, all of this stuff. And yesterday, Rena Center came. She's in the Rena Center truck. And I'm thinking that the lady or whoever, the guy from Rena Center, is inside and she's just in the truck. She's crying and she stops at the drop of a hat, guys. That's not normal behavior. To be crying with lagrima, with feeling, you're crying hysterically and you just stop suddenly and it switches to anger. And then she turns her camera and the lady sitting in the truck. The lady was there like 10 minutes. So I'm like, she's actually doing this in front of the lady. And that was all manipulation. She's telling her that she's afraid of Mike. He's dangerous. Yeah, go talk to him. Like, she manipulates every situation around her. And again, there's a lot of factors: mental illness, I believe, substance abuse, just being a bad person. It's a lot. I
Oh,
don't
for
know,
fuck's
man.
sake!
I don't know.
The whole mental illness. Here's the issue, right?
What you
Um,
said, for
my
fuck's sake? Hi, Audi. Sorry.
my family member is severe. It's bad, right? It's bad, 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 bad. Like if
Right.
she's not taking lithium, I refuse to be around her, and that's just a boundary I set. And
Yeah.
she knows, she damn well knows that she should be taking her meds, but she'll
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah, but it's putting some weight on me, and I hate the weight and I hate the bloat. And lithium, that is a side effect of it. So she will purposely stop taking it and then doesn't want to be held accountable for what she does when she doesn't take the meds. And I
Right.
just refuse to allow that to happen. I allowed it to happen
Yeah.
for a long time. There was a
Yep.
point where
It's
I went
definitely.
through such a severe like episode with this family member that I ended up losing 22 pounds, and I'm little.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
tiny.
I almost
You don't need
I
to be
was trying
losing no
I
22
almost
pounds, girl.
yeah, I almost lost my mind with this person because I just wasn't
Stressful.
understanding it. It's extremely stressful. They don't freaking
Yeah.
sleep. And when they're in
Yeah.
your house and they're like banging pots and all noises, and it's almost like having a baby, a colic baby, like, please go to sleep, please go to sleep. Oh my God, I can't take much more of this, go to sleep. And it is
No.
just like that. And I see it with Jen, and this my family member makes no fucking sense at all. And it comes out in
Yeah.
anger, it comes out in extreme judgment of other
Yeah,
people.
she
This
was.
person's fat, they're ugly, they're stupid, they don't know how to use words, they don't know,
Yes.
they don't know
Yeah.
math. I swear to God, that was a thing. That was a thing. They don't know how to do math. How dumb can you be? And just
Yeah,
going
it's
off at
abusive. It's
anybody. And
abusive.
it's abusive. And nobody has to put up with that. Nobody.
No.
Mental illness cannot be used as a shield or excuse. It cannot.
No.
We are
No.
all responsible for our own. And for
We are.
fuck's sake, people, stop blaming Jules for Jen's spiral. Stop it. It is not Jules's fault. It's nobody's fault online. Jules is responsible for Jules. And people have come out the
Right.
damn woodwork to say that Jen has always been this way. So it's,
Yeah.
she's gotten more delusional as of recent
Yes.
since
Yes, she
Clint
has.
left. But that's also, we don't, I think we suspect, I don't know, in my opinion, we suspect that there's could be some substance abuse involved. And
I
that's
hope.
just going to add to it. That's going to
Yeah.
add to bipolar. That's a bad combination.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And I hope that her daughter is also safe and stable. But if you think about it, and this is, I'm sorry if this sounds a little messed up to say, any place is more stable than the home she was in.
Yeah.
Not
Hmm.
saying that she deserves to just go from Guatemala to Guatapeor, but this is just as bad. Like, she can't go from bad to worse. This is, I think, one of the worst situations, and I'm hoping that she is in a stable situation with her dad too. She deserves that. She needs time to heal mentally, emotionally,
I know.
physically,
That
all
poor
of it.
girl. That poor girl. If the father loves his daughter, he will get her counseling, like straight off the bat,
Needs,
because there's no doubt
yes,
about it that that is not only affecting her now, but will affect her entire future. And that's just
yes,
unfortunate. I know that from experience. It just does. But
yes,
I'm still responsible for my own mental health,
yep,
seeking the help that I need, doing the therapy, even when I don't feel like going to an appointment because it's
right,
annoying. I go and I always feel better afterwards. I comply and take my medication as needed, and it helps. And is it a cure? No, it's not, but it's
no,
helpful. And I had to go through it with my own
right,
daughter who was, 18 years old. I had to put her into counseling because I noticed my very vibrant and beautiful girl turn into, in 2020, it was her senior year in high school. And with the pandemic and all of that, she lost three friends, and one of them to the
right,
disease that she has as well, type 1 diabetes. And it was,
right.
I watched her sink into, didn't want to come out of her room when normally she's a social butterfly. She just wanted to sleep all the time. And I said, oh, no, 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 it's not what we're going to do. So I got her into grief counseling, and man, I'll tell you what, it started helping almost immediately. So I
Yeah,
really hope that they do get her into some sort of, just to talk to somebody that's outside of this mess. Because that
yes.
little girl, that girl, I worry. I do. That
I
poor
do
kid.
too. I do too. That was my main um worry, and that's where all my empathy and sympathy went
Right.
to the little girl. Even though she's 17, but she's still a minor, and that is still,
She's a kid. She's
she's
a
a
kid.
kid.
So
She's a
17 years
kid.
old. Like, I look at my kids and they're
Hey,
my little
William.
babies still, and they're older than 17. So
Yeah,
she's a
I
kid.
think that she's still a kid, and um, I just really, really am. her kids are amazing. And I think, and her daughter's very articulate, very, and it just made me sad when the daughters, when the foyer was, the body cam footage was shown, because I know now that that girl, that young girl is going to be jaded. And it's counterproductive, right? If we all say we want the teenage girl to be safe, if you played the body cam footage, you could have cut out that part with the minor daughter, especially when we know that Jen was spiraling and Jen was taking out her frustrations on everyone around her. Jen was going to take out her anger for her daughter being honest with the cops on her daughter. And that is where I have an issue as a content creator. Sometimes there's things that I could play and show. Like I could show Jen's videos and rip it up and give commentary and put Jen's name in the title and again get a lot of views. We know that. But the damage that could be done to her family, her children coming across it. And I don't think that the daughter's well-being was really thought about. It was more
Mm.
about the views. It was more about a ha ha to Jen. And again, I'm not trying to tell people what content they should put on their channel,
No,
but
it's just
then
our
don't
opinion.
pretend, that your focus is that girl. Because if your focus was that girl, that one segment could have been cut out because that could have had real consequences for that girl. We know Jen is handsy. Like I just can't understand it. That girl has no escape, man. Thank God she's out now. I'm talking about past tense. That just bothered me. It bothered me then. It bothers me now. That part could have been cut out, and you still would have had all the views that you still had. It just put that girl in danger. Sorry, in my opinion. And that's just how I feel about that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
me too,
yeah.
Zero under six. That's why I watch my breezy girl. That is why I watch.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
those
And I
will be
don't
the
mind
videos I'll be showing.
commentary. I don't mind commentary. I think
No,
that
me either, but no.
commentary is just fine, And I saw that like
Yes.
Terry Lynn was like a major target of Jen's.
Oh,
Like
yes.
if
Jesus.
I
Thank
don't
you,
blame
Lisa.
Terry Lynn for feeling the way that she does at
Oh, no.
all.
No.
And mentioning her kids and stuff. And listen, we all know I get a little crazy. Like I will seek your
Right?
whole family out if you come for my kids. And I'm not even
Yes.
joking. I'm not. Not even joking. But I'm not a doxer. I don't want to look into people's lives. Come for my kids and all bets are off. And I really don't care. I don't care what
Right.
my consequences will be. I just don't. And
Right.
that's just
Right.
that's my button. And a lot of people say don't let others know what your button
Yes.
is. I
Yes.
just give fair warning. That's the way I consider it. Like don't
Yeah.
go there. Don't not anything because they don't have nothing to do with online. They're
No,
they're
they don't.
great young adults now living, on their own. They're wonderful. I love them to death, but I can understand how other mothers when their kids are mentioned, the claws come out. I can
Of
relate to
course.
that,
Man,
so
listen, claws, all that's coming out.
right,
I've
right.
I've learned to like, because now people know what triggers people, and so you let people know what your Achilles heel is, they're gonna aim
Yes.
for that all the time. So I'm going to respond differently. You know what I mean? I've spoken to
Exactly.
my sons. My sons are aware of the possibility of people trying to dox them. My son said, "What they gonna dox?" You know what I mean? I'm not. They're not worried about it. Um, so that's all I care about. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that same power, and that's the thing about taking the power away from bullies and cowards, because cowards, they feel so powerless in their own lives that they want to exude power over other people.
Well, look at
And
Jen. Look who she surrounded herself with. And I mean, and I know this is going to sound terrible, but it's
yeah,
the damn truth. She
yes,
went after people that she knew she could manipulate and
yes,
control.
true.
And for fuck's sake, oh, I said the F word, damn it. For
It's okay.
FFS.
It's okay. It's just funny when you say it, but you could, what the hell? We don't
I know.
hear that curses here.
I'm trying not to, at all
Right.
curse because it's better for me not to. I don't particularly like it, even though I do love
Yeah,
the F word. I do, but it
me
doesn't.
too.
It doesn't sound good, and it certainly doesn't make me sound smart. That's for damn sure. There are other words in the English language, unfortunately. I wish they were all the F word. I don't even know
Right?
why it's
Me
a bad
too.
word. Why is it bad? Dang it. I like
Just
it.
fuck with the and in between it. That's
I know, right? Like, oh my God, now I don't even know what I was saying. But anyway,
sorry. Sorry, I
you know,
distracted
I
you.
lose my damn track very quickly.
That's right. Thank you. Oh, okay. I want to talk about this real quick. I don't want to get all into this. Mm, mm. I don't know why. Why selfie? Why you did it to yourself, girl? I clicked in to hear something because I was hearing people talking about this person, Dove Kitty, who was a member of the anti-KJ
Oh
community.
Lord.
Okay. So they said that she was on Amzi's panel and people were not too happy with her. So I was like, okay, let me see for myself what. And when I clicked on it, you know, divine intervention, I clicked right at this part that oh my God, like I felt the blood rush from my toes all the way up to my head. I was flipping. I was livid. I was livid. So I screen recorded it and I'm going to play it. I put it on my channel on unlisted because if I play it from my phone, I don't know why my iPhone speaker is so low that you can't hear it too well. So I just put it unlisted. Let me see if I could play it really quickly for you guys because I want you guys to hear the ignorance and the wrong information that it wasn't on my panel, but if I hear something like that, I'm gonna correct it because
Yeah,
that
my
is
ears
straight
perked up.
wrong
My
information. Straight wrong
yeah.
information.
Hmm.
So let me get it real quick. Oh wait, no, it's a post, right? Sorry guys, I'm just getting it. Where did I put it?
Yeah, she was I remember her. She was
Oh, here it
a
goes.
mod for Sipping Tea with Joe. Remember Joe?
Oh,
She
was
was a
she?
mod for her. Yes, she goes way back. I was around too, like before KJ had a thousand
You were a mod for
subscribers.
sipping tea with Joe too, right?
I was from the very beginning when Joe, and then, I started seeing some things I didn't like. And just like I say, in all situations, when the behind the scenes stuff gets messy like that, I want no part of it.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't want a part of scheming or planning and plotting on people. I just won't do that. So that's when I exited being a mod for Joe. Now, do I hold hard feelings against her? No, I don't. I just don't want a part of what was going on. That's all.
Right.
Okay. I
Sorry.
have
I don't know.
to, you know, I have to be about it instead of just spewing and preaching
Right.
from a soapbox and telling others how to be. That's not.
Right. Okay, so this was just a 44-second clip that I clipped. I took Amzi out because I don't want somebody to strike me. I don't know how she feels about it, but nah, hell no. So this is Brandy. This is a person, Mike, Jen's roommate. This is his wife. Okay, so she was talking about. Let me rewind it a little bit. It's self-explanatory, so you'll hear it.
Needle user, I snorted it. But the guy that I was doing it with, however,
Can
was,
you
and there's
hear it?
been, I can't remember how many times
Yeah,
that
we
I
hear.
turned around and he's done hit the ground, his face is bleeding,
Okay.
I have to
No,
hide it,
you
nobody
don't.
can
Wait a
see
minute.
him.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You don't.
All right, wait. Let me rewind it again. My son is so loud in the room, bro. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I couldn't hear her. I mean, I
User, I
hear it,
snorted
but
it.
I had
The guy
background.
that I was doing it with, however, was, and there's been, I can't remember how many times that I turned around and he's done hit the ground, his face is bleeding, I have to
No,
hide it,
you
nobody
don't.
can
Wait a
see
minute.
him.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You don't snort heroin, honey.
But I did.
You don't snort heroin. You
But
snort crank
but I
or
did though.
crystal. No, you cannot snort heroin. It doesn't
Unless it's
happen.
Dilaudid. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
people.
it's going
Wow.
to have to be very diluted. There's no way you're snorting heroin.
Well, he
You
could have
would
been
die.
lying to me what I was using, but we
You
did.
would have an
You
instant
know.
heart attack. You would
Bullshit.
have an instant heart attack snorting heroin.
Well, it
Bullshit.
could have been Dilaudid, which is
She's letting people tell her what she snorted, like, and she's like, well, maybe, like, girl, you know what you. I can't. I can't.
Yeah,
I
Brandy
can't.
here is being, whether I feel like she should be on these panels and stuff or not is irrelevant to the conversation. I'm just going to look at it as
Hi, Summer
Brandy
Rain.
has been very forthcoming and honest about what she's done in the past and her shortcomings as a mother. And I can applaud her for that, at least not denying it, because so many people do. So she
Yeah.
admits to things, and she admitted to snorting H. And she's telling this woman on panel that she did it, but the know-it-all, Dove Kitty, and she's always been that way, by the way, always thinks she knows everything that's going on, hasn't paid attention to the 90-day community, and I don't know how long, but then wants to get up there and tell everybody what's what, how things are, and that this woman, Brandy, who was an addict, couldn't possibly have snorted H. Wrong. She did. Guess what? She didn't have a heart attack.
And so I want to say, trigger warning. I used to snort heroin. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
that
Yep.
was my
I
drug
never
of
did.
choice.
But I knew
Yeah.
Cindy did.
So I,
So
it's not a fact. First of all, it's untrue. She didn't say it was her opinion. She stated it as a fact. Okay, as a fact, and she's gonna tell Brandy that she didn't do what she did. First of all, listen to me, and not, I'm not glorifying that I was once an addict, an H addict, but the misinformation to say that it's impossible, it's you either did it was either crystal or something else that she says.
crank, crank.
Crank.
What's a
It was
crank?
crank or crystal. You can't snort it. Yes, you can. People that start doing heroin, that inject heroin, the majority started snorting it. So that pissed me off because she's wrong. She's wrong, and she's trying to tell somebody who was an active addict that she didn't do what she did, and then to say you'll have a heart attack. Let me tell you something, Dove Kitty, shut the fuck up. Shut the
Honestly, can you imagine coming up on a panel and being like so condescending and so and some people will look at like to say when they're doing that or being rather rude that, well, I'm just being honest because I'm a straight shooter. You can still give your opinion and be a straight shooter without being an asshole. However, that
I
didn't
hate that.
happen
People
here.
that are assholes want to say, I'm just real. No, you're just an asshole. There's a difference.
Exactly.
I hate that. I hate that people that are just disrespectful, obnoxious, and have no respect for anybody else always want to hide behind the guise of, I'm real. No, you have no home training, bitch. There's a difference. There's a difference. And that know it all ass had it totally fucking wrong. So what is she gonna do? Tell me that I didn't snort what the fuck I snorted? Or she's gonna tell me about my life that I thought it was H, but that I was wrong, right? That I was snorting crank or crystal meth. I can't with fucking I can't, let me chill.
Well, she said, and it's not my story to tell, but she did say this on a public platform last night that she had a sister who passed
Hey
away and
Steven,
due to overdose, and I'm very sorry
I'm
for her
sorry for her
loss,
loss.
but
Yes.
just because you have a sister that passed away doesn't mean that you know everything about how drugs are ingested or
Exactly.
taken or
Exactly.
and let's not forget that things change through
Yes.
years. They change, drugs change, fat trends, all of that, it changes. So to tell someone who is on panel that has gotten clean, worked very hard to do so, that they weren't taking or ingesting, snorting the
Mm-hmm.
drug that they said they were is weird to me. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna
how?
play it again. I'm gonna play it again for those that just came in because it's not even like she said you can't. First of all, people can snort it. They can. People snort fentanyl. People do uh, OD. Yes, unfortunate. But for her to say you cannot. It's physically impossible because you would pass away and have a heart attack. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Okay, not, and I'm not trying to encourage please people to go out and use drugs. Don't snort it. Don't do anything. If you have a substance abuse problem, please seek help immediately. Okay?
Wait, hold up. What's going
What?
on here? We want to fix this quick. Low key. I think low key. I don't know if she was blocked or hidden, but it must be on accident. I don't know because I don't see anything that she said is bad. She was saying
Who
no
blocked her?
one can't snort black. It looks like Shay. Shay, did you do it on purpose?
Is that what
'Cause I don't know.
she was asking if she was asking us if that's what we're talking about? With her saying you can't snort.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's snort H,
Yes,
injectable
yes.
stuff too. I just don't like the word. I hate it. I
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
word.
Yeah.
But I just think that, yeah, exactly, Jenny, to discredit a person's story when they're telling you and being vulnerable. It's not like she was
Yes.
proud of it. Guess
Yeah.
what I
She
did?
wasn't
I snorted.
glorifying it.
No, she
Glorifying
wasn't. She was just stating a fact in what she did. And then this
You're
Dove
shutting
Kitty
her down.
interrupts
You're
her and
shutting her
tells
down.
her, yeah, that she couldn't have possibly been doing that. Excuse me, who are you? Excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
I don't.
I can.
It's mind blowing,
Is
and I don't like
low key unhidden? I'm sorry.
low key unhidden. I don't know. I
Well,
hope so because I
she's
didn't see
timed
that.
out. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Loki. You'll be back. Friendly fire. Friendly fire.
Yeah, sorry, low key, sweetie. Yeah, she was saying that that's bullshit. That the lady, Dove Kitty is full of shit.
She
Basically,
was though,
what she.
and then and Amzi, to her credit, I mean, I'm not an Amzi fan. I don't like all of the racist things and things that are. I just can't get down with that. Especially
I'm
when
keep
you
my
know
opinion
better.
to myself. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
However, last night I was shocked that she let the kitty go on for as long as she did. But then, okay, to Amzi's credit, there wasn't even a goodbye. She saw everybody going off in the chat like this lady doesn't know what she's talking about. She's a know-it-all, blah blah blah. And Amzi's just like bloop, drop. And she's like, sorry, Dove Kitty, had to drop you. Everybody don't like you. I'm listening in the chat. I'm like,
Because
she doesn't even say
this is
goodbye.
ridiculous. She's condescending, talking down to people, acting like she knows everything. Like, no. So I'm gonna play it again. And low key, I hope you're still here, Mama. It was just 300 minutes. Sorry, I know that's
It was
when I get timed out by
accident.
accident. It
We are
seems like
sorry.
forever. But
So
sorry
sorry.
about that.
User, I snorted it. But the guy that I was doing it with, however, was, and there's been, I can't remember how many times that I turned around and he done hit the ground and his face is bleeding. I have to
No,
hide it.
you
Nobody
don't.
can
Wait a
see
minute.
him.
Whoa. You don't snort heroin.
Okay, so you see how she's telling her story again. Forget that this is Brandy. This is a woman sharing her story and how she shuts her down and cuts her off. Okay?
User, I snorted it. But the guy that I was doing it with, however, was, and there's been, I can't remember how many times that I turned around and he done hit the ground and his face is bleeding. I have to
No,
hide it.
you
Nobody
don't.
can
Wait a
see
minute.
him.
Whoa. You don't snort heroin, honey.
But I did.
You don't snort heroin. You snort crank
But I
or
did though.
crystal. No, you cannot snort.
I wonder where she learned this information, where she got her certifications, her doctorate, and what you could snort. People snort anything. Not saying they
Could
should.
you imagine? Could you imagine being told that you weren't once
No, but
the
she makes her
addict
doubt
that you
herself,
were?
JJ. She makes her doubt herself. She
Yes.
concedes. She concedes. Yeah, maybe he just told me that's what I was doing. Like, what?
I think Brandy is just a nice lady and just didn't want to make, Dove Kitty just wants to be in everybody's face. She does. You're wrong. You're this. You're that. You're that.
I don't know.
Like,
I
she's
don't know
looking for the
Brandy. I don't know
bad.
what kind of person she is. I just think she didn't want confrontation. She didn't want to be like, yes, I did, because she's stating it as a fact. You can't do it as if, you know what I mean? She got a PhD in what you could snort and shit. Like, get the fuck, man. I can't.
Snort heroin. It doesn't
Unless it's
happen.
allotted.
Yeah, it's going to have to be very diluted. There's no way you're snorting heroin.
Well, he
You
could have
would
been
die.
lying to me what I was using, but
First of all, okay, let's go back to chemistry, okay? All right. Trigger warning. Puñeta, what this fucking lady got me talking about shit that I don't talk about. When you buy H, right? They cut it with something. If you have pure H, you will immediately have some issues. That's why fentanyl is such a problem, okay? Because of the potency of it. Saying you have to dilute it is usually fluid, liquid, dilute. When you think of dilute, you think of liquids. Cut it, yes. Okay, so Miss Know It All here doesn't even have the right terminology, because when you dilute something, that's usually a liquid that you're diluting. Now, when you are using it intravenously, you dilute it with water, right? Yes. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about. They cut it with something else. Okay, they do that to make it go further, to make it less potent. That is common knowledge. I just can't. I just let me just play the last few seconds, because I just
You would have an instant
Yeah.
heart attack. You would have an instant heart attack snorting heroin.
Well, it could have been Dilaudid, which is
had them all just second guessing themselves, like, yep, she right. PhD. This lady got a PhD in it. She know what she talking about. She gonna make me doubt my whole life experience. Like, okay. Hi,
Yes, and
Yorkville.
it actually went on beyond that too. So if any of y'all get an opportunity, not that I'm endorsing EMZ's channel, but that video, if you see the Dove Kitty, it will probably enrage you if you can't stand rude people, because it was the rudest
Right,
shit.
yes.
It was kind of like, I don't know, like she was there to be the police or to shame people for anything they said. It was so odd. I don't know. I don't know anybody that wants to go looking for arguments. It's so weird.
And you're cut off her story regardless, because you are just, and I'm so tired of, there's so many of these fucking people on YouTube that are just the authorities on everything and want to explain to you how you need to tell your life experience and all this other stuff. Let me educate you on how you should have shared your story. Like, kiss my ass with that. I hate know-it-all. I swear, es que me enfogona. I hate people like that. Like, bro.
Right. There's a difference if you're an
goodness.
expert, like you're a doctor, you're writing articles for, Ivy League colleges, and this is something that you deal with on the regular. Like Cindy and I started this live, who are we? We're just people watching this happen.
It's an opinion, right?
It's an opinion, and it's not it by no means what we say should happen or will happen, or what I would like to see happen. My opinion is that Jen goes and gets the intensive therapy that she so desperately needs. That would be the best outcome, because not for any of us, while we would like to see her punished for things that she's done, and I get that, I do, and I think she should be. However, she's going to continue harming people if she doesn't get the help she needs. It's going to continue.
Right.
So then where are we? Where are we? If she continues on and on and on, then what do you do then? Be mad and stomp your feet. And no, it's better if she goes and gets the help she needs, if nothing more than for her kids, because they deserve a mother.
Exactly. And I agree, guys. And again, she has my deepest condolences for the loss of her sister. But I know people that have lost family members to addiction that still do not understand. Yeah, that still do not understand addiction. And that kind of information, I'm glad that it was checked in the chat, that people know better than to let her, because again, the panel was conceding, like, yeah, it was probably this, you're right. And that false information, had it gone unchecked by everybody in the chat, would have been passed on to other people as fact. And it's not fact. And again, I'm not endorsing drug use, guys. I'm trying to correct wrong information. And anytime that you ingest drugs in any form, any way, smoke it, snort it, any other way, you are playing Russian roulette. Okay, it is a matter of life and death. So please don't use drugs. I need to say that because I don't want it to be misunderstood that I'm here encouraging, glorifying any of
Oh
that.
God, no, no, you would never.
No, but it's important to realize that that is wrong information.
Yes,
Terribly
and
wrong information.
you've talked about the hell that it made your life. So
It
there
did.
is no glorifying it whatsoever.
No
But
way.
to say that it can't happen, what if there's parents out there like me, I was a parent of teenagers, young adults, and what if they were doing that? However, they said it was something else or whatever. It's just, I don't
JJ,
know.
great point. Can I piggyback on that? Because let's
Of
say
course, of
that
course,
you're a parent and you weren't friends with me, right? Like
right.
when we first became friends, you didn't know a lot about addiction.
I knew
So
nothing.
let's say, right, that you have children or whatever, you don't know what that is, and you hear somebody saying, well, you can't snort it. So you don't see syringes. You see one of your, God forbid, God bless your babies. Hypothetical, one of your babies is acting weird, different, dissociated, nodding off here and there. And you hear this, so you think, okay, as long as there's no syringes, I have nothing to worry about with that drug, right? Because
Right.
they can't snort it, so there has to be some kind of paraphernalia that some physical evidence I would be able to find, and that may not be the case. There may be nothing because you get a bag, snort it, you dispose of it in the toilet. So that information can be harmful to people that don't know any better. You need to know the warning signs. You need to know, yes, you can ingest it this way, that way, so that you can be proactive in your own life and other people's lives and how dangerous it is.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but that's
There's a
hard.
lot of there's a lot of people, y'all, that are just like
Thank
me,
you.
that didn't grow up surrounded by people or even knew people who did drugs or associated with, and you don't know anything, and you're very ignorant and naive to it. You
Yeah.
just think, oh, what an idiot, they keep doing drugs. Oh, they're addicted. Well, maybe they should just stop, and yeah, they might be sick for a few days, but then they'll be over it and get their life back. But that's not the way it works. And
No.
I was ignorant and I thought that's the way that it worked. And I was wrong. I used to walk around like, oh my God, that's just a crackhead. Oh, look at that. Now I'm a little more careful with my words because
Yeah,
I understand that it is very much so an illness.
it
And,
is.
and Jen
It
is
is indeed.
very, very, very sick. Does that mean that the people that she's done harm to should just look at it like she's sick and give her a pass? Absolutely not. No. Nope, nope, nope.
We don't have the
She has
right
to
to
be
tell anybody how they should feel about what's
right.
being said about them. And I understand, but on the flip side of that, we have to keep things in perspective too, that we don't allow our hate to boil over to the point where we become as bad as Jen, where the things coming out of our mouths are things that sound equally as terrible as what Jen says. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is why when I was in her IG live and she requested me to go on her panel, I did not, because Jen was gonna say some shit and I was gonna say some shit. I was gonna say some shit. I already knew that. This is why I don't go on panels of channels that I don't like. Because why would I do that to myself? I'm going to make myself look horrible because I'm going
Yeah.
to get angry and I'm gonna aim right below the belt, right where you're aiming in that moment, because my anger is there, right? So that's why
Yeah, girl.
I
Yeah.
chill. I chill. I know better. I'm like, okay, don't put yourself in that situation, Cindy. Sometimes I still come in, I'm like, I was just angry a few minutes ago. But it's not me saying, oh, your mother this and your father this and your kid could do this and you could do this, because I'm able to restrain myself. But in that moment, if we're going back and forth, I may not have that restraint. So I'm gonna avoid that situation at all costs. I'm gonna
Yes,
avoid that.
and that's important. That's important. And I've done it. Okay, again, talking from experience, I've done it one time where I went on someone else's panel because I had just had enough and I
Yeah,
just didn't care. I clowned the person, called him a hoe, called him whatever I felt like calling him, and that
yeah.
was that. And is that truly me? No, but I had just had enough.
You were,
Sometimes you just
yeah,
I
you were.
yeah, sometimes you just break and you're like, "Listen here, bitch. Okay? I'm aiming to hurt your ass and I don't care how I do it." And that's just the
Yeah,
truth. That's the
yes,
honest to God's truth. I just didn't I had had enough. It was kind of like a little snap and that happens,
for
but
real.
I had to recognize that and reel myself back in and know
Yeah,
that that is not something I want to do or engage in.
right. And so now
Thank
you
you,
know better.
Virgie.
What did Virgie
Virgie
do?
got Virgie gave 5 memberships.
Thank you,
Like a
Virgie. You're so cute.
Virgie.
Like
I'm
a
gonna
vir-
keep playing that
So
song.
we got Joe being Joe. Oh wait, Tina got one. Yay. Tina Welsh. Joe be praying for Mims as seen by a subscriber. And Sassy Susie speaks. Thank you,
Yay!
Virgie. Thank you. And congratulations to everybody. Thank you. That is very, very kind of you. Very
Yes,
sweet.
thank you so much.
And I think that's the difference. And guys, when we're here talking, we're not talking like know-it-alls or moral authority. We're talking from experience, things that I've learned. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I still come here and say things that people want to cancel me for every fucking day. But I know better. So certain situations, I'm gonna navigate around them motherfuckers and stay far away from it. But sometimes, like, I still get angry. You know, like when I watch too much of Jen, I still get really angry. The things she says angers me. It does. So I take breaks. That's why I watch Breezy Girl, and I'll just, pause, Cindy, go pet Stormy. Remember, life is good. Life is good. I have to go back into a positive headspace because she makes me go to a dark place. And I think that is what we have to remember too, that we're online and we become engulfed in that, right? Because so I'm gonna say this. When I watch Jen and I see her sitting in that home and I seen the pictures of the home, not shaming her for not knowing how to clean, again, stating a fact, right?
Right.
I see her in, it just seems dark. And then I think about the Nana upstairs, confined to her room. And I kind of transport there. Like, it sounds weird, but my mind transports there and I feel myself in that environment. Like, oh my God, the darkness and crap on the floor, like literal dog crap on the floor and stuff all over the floor, and you're not picking stuff up around you. Whatever drops on the floor stays on the floor, and it puts me in a very negative place. Like I feel suffocated
Um,
by it, you know?
that is, and I know Jen likes to blame Clint or whatever, whatever. And listen, the guys were in the house too. Their asses could have picked up the garbage and threw it away, regardless. I had kids, and the kids didn't always pick up after themselves, and who would come behind them? Me. And should you be
Yeah,
treating two men that live like, or should you be treating a woman that lives with you like a child? No. However, if you don't want to live in filth, you will take care of the situation. And but what needs to be known is it's crazy to me. I feel like I'm looking at my family member when I look at Jen, because I see the exact same things, like the not caring, the not throwing away of anything. Even a bottle, a stupid Coke bottle or something will just be
yeah,
thrown on the floor, and it's looked
yeah.
at that's a normal thing to do. When you're done with it, just throw it on
It
the floor.
is.
Who
But
gives
you
a
know
shit?
what, too? Thinking about it. And listen, guys, we're not diagnosing. God, I hate that. I wish we could just talk without having to preface everything. But we're not diagnosing. But you know what I thought about? So this is just a theory, right? A theory. I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, none of that shit. But okay, so Clint just left, right? And guys, I'm not saying Jen's done this situation to herself. She caused the situation herself. Hear me out, Puñeta. Now, Clint left. He has a protective order, R or whatever. Two of her
Right,
children have protective orders, right?
right.
Now, I watch Hoarders a lot. Like, I'm addicted to that show. It
I
kind of
can't.
hits me. No, you know why it helps me? Because every time I watch it, it gives me the inclination to make sure everything's clean. Like, it's like, girl, you don't want to live like that. So that's what it motivates me as I'm watching it. I'm straightening up something that I may have left, like the bathroom. Like, okay, girl, you should be cleaning that damn bathtub. It helps me. So but there are people that were so afraid of abandonment that they can't throw away a damn soda bottle, and there's a disconnect there. And again, I'm not giving her excuses why she doesn't clean, um but there are things like that, fear of abandonment. Everybody's abandoning you, so you don't want to lose anything. Like I saw Jen with all these papers all around her, and she was sleeping on that sofa with all of that around her,
What about
like
the
a mess.
flies she collected? She collected so many damn flies on one strip. It was unbelievable.
Yo,
Okay,
JJ, what the
this
fuck?
woman threw away and then gets up there and then snatches it down with her damn hand and then doesn't wash her hands. I'm
Oh my
like,
god, that
what
was
am I
gross.
watching? And listen, my therapist
That was
told me, because I would always say, like, there are some things that are kind of triggers for me, and the show Hoarders is one
I
of
get
them
it, Pat.
because I'm diagnosed OCD. And what the therapist said to me is like, it's like somebody who is afraid of heights, like
Mm-hmm.
watching um, people like go across like a
Tight
wire,
wire, yeah.
tight wire,
Yeah.
yes, like in the
Mhm.
Grand Canyon. It's like that. Well, people that are afraid of heights are going to be like sensitive to that, ultra sensitive. And that's the way I feel about Hoarders. I watch it and I'm like, well, I can't really watch it, but if I
JJ,
see
but
like
you
a
have
scene,
and you have OCD too, Mama. So
yeah.
that's
Oh,
very
yeah,
different
bad.
for you.
Yes, very
So
bad. I
you
can't
can't
look at
watch
it. I can't
that.
watch it.
That'll trigger
I
you.
can't.
That'll trigger you. So I
Oh,
get
it
that.
triggers me. I get
Yeah.
anxiety and I will spiral into getting
Yeah.
on my hands and knees and scrubbing
Yeah.
the floor. That's what
So
will happen.
that is a real reason why JJ can't watch that show. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But to
Yeah.
me, it does help me. It does help me, and it helps me, gives me a little insight into how people's minds work. And stuff like that. I don't know, guys. It just
And there's always trauma. There's always
there's always
trauma
trauma.
behind it.
Yes.
And I don't think that there's probably a single person on earth that has not had some sort of trauma. I think a lot of us, all of us have.
Hmm.
And it's just how it manifests itself. It's how early did you get help for that trauma? Are you still denying it? Are you doing nothing or being complacent or thinking that going and getting help is weak? Because a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
And mental health is a big, big, big problem, especially, I don't know about the rest of the world, I can only speak for the United States, but here in the United States you can say that you want to unalive yourself, and in Florida they will Baker Act you. We have the
Yes.
Baker Act here, they
Yes.
absolutely will, and
Yes.
it's for 3 days, 3 days only, and then you are booted, and then you have to wait a good month and a half to 2 months to get in to see a psychiatrist.
Mhm.
And even when you go in, all they're
Yeah.
doing is assessing you and
Yes.
deciding what your treatment plan will be. Then you yourself have to do the work, the treatment that the doctor tells you to do, which includes medication a lot of times. And if
Right.
you don't do that, you can't expect the world to bow down to you because of your illness. You have to
True.
do what you have to do to become a better person. All of us do.
No, but
All of
now
us.
that everything is so accommodating and affirming that
Yes.
this is where this victim, excuse me,
Victim.
mentality is
Yes.
thriving. This is
Mm-hmm.
where this victim mentality is thriving because of this. You have to affirm everything somebody says. They're saying they're struggling mentally. How dare you even question that? You have to believe it on sight.
Yes.
And no, and it
Yes. Oh my
leads to
God.
just worse and worse behavior because again, people play the victim in all these situations. Oh, well, I can't clean. What do you expect me to pay my rent? I can't pay my bills. I can't be a responsible adult because I have, medical ailments, or I have physical ailments, or I have mental ailments. Like, it's enough already. It's enough. And Bliss
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
said, did you hear what Bliss Chris said, JJ?
No, what'd she say?
She said when I managed the pizzeria at a mall when I was younger, this lady would always get a dinner salad, eat almost all of it, then point out a fly she found in it. Well, I watched her one day. This bitch pulled a Ziploc bag full of flies out of her purse.
Oh my God. Oh my
She
God.
came up and tried it on me again. Nah, boo boo, you nasty motherfucker.
Oh my God, that's so gross. My brother was a
You're a
manager of
fucking
a
scammer,
very
bro.
my brother was a manager of a very upscale restaurant, and he would tell me it would always be the same people. They would come in and practically eat everything off their plate except for one bite, and then be like, this food, it was cold, it was terrible,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
want to speak to the manager, and my brother would go over, and a lot of times he would comp it, but one day he had enough, and he's like,
Yes.
no, not only are you paying for this, but do not come back again.
That's
He didn't
right.
give a shit. He put his job on the line because he had enough.
Yep.
Some people take advantage. They do.
Yep, yep. And you're right. It's crazy on TikTok, guys, because TikTok is the main platform that you can't dare push back on these people. You can't. You will have the masses attack you. Now, I think that it's getting to a dangerous place because people are not allowed differing opinions, right? I believe in pro-choice, okay? But I would
Yep.
also not disrespect anyone that believes that's pro-life. I don't. That is their opinion. I respect their opinion. And because I'm pro-choice doesn't mean that I think that it should be used as birth control, okay?
Nope.
There's extenuating circumstances, and we won't really go into because people get upset. The reason I'm saying that, there was these two women that were pro-life that had a speaking engagement. There was a whole charter president that had these women scheduled them to come to her university to speak about them being pro-life. When they got there, Antifa was there and wouldn't let them speak, was screaming. They had to hire their own security because campus police wouldn't be there. Thank God that they preemptively hired security because they saw what had happened to that swimmer that went to the university to talk about women's rights and was assaulted, was held captive for 3 hours, and all of this stuff. So they preemptively hired a security, and he kept them from getting assaulted, like people trying to hit them and all this stuff. And this is where we're getting that we can't even have debates or adult conversations with differing opinions
Right.
because it's becoming dangerous not to conform to this agenda, this agenda of the masses. And I will never conform to any of that. I will always have my own beliefs, and I will always speak
Well,
to.
you and I grew up in a time where like politics really weren't spoken about outside
No,
of the household.
no.
Like nobody really knew, are you a Democrat or Republican, an independent? Like people knew not to be talking about that shit because it's going to cause arguments. All of a sudden, it became the thing to do. And
Yeah,
by doing so, it became the thing to do to judge people based upon
yeah,
their
yeah.
politics. It's absolutely
And
insane to
cancel them,
me.
and cancel them
Yes,
too.
completely cancel. Oh, really? You're a Democrat? You must be homophobic. You must be racist. You must be if
Oh,
you're a
you're a woke
Democrat, this is what you're
radical. They
saying. You
call they
must
call
be
liberals
woke.
radicals now, you know?
Exactly. And then to the
And
conservatives,
Republicans,
it's you
conservatives, yeah.
must be, racist. You must be
Yes.
homophobic. You're
Intolerant.
xenophobic. You're all
Yeah,
intolerant. That's why
yes.
I say I'm a patriot. I love my country. I
That's
just want
it.
to see it do better. I want it to
That's it.
prosper. I hate the bullshit of all the politics. I'm not willing to lose friends or family
No, me
over
either.
these dumb. I don't understand it, and that's the way I feel with online stuff
Yep.
too.
I
If
agree.
we're not experts in things and we're not privy to all the information, which
Yep.
newsflash, if you think that we're privy to all the information regarding politics, you're dead wrong because we aren't.
No, hell
We're
no, we're not.
shown right,
What
we're
they
shown
want
what
us
they
to know.
want us to see
Yes.
exactly. And I feel that way a lot of times, when I'm looking on YouTube too. Like I shouldn't be forced to pick a side. Like if it's the
No.
Republican, the Democrat side, you're
Yeah.
this, you're that. If you're with this side, or
Yep.
and then
I
fence
still,
riders, oh
yeah,
well, you better pick a side.
no way.
No,
No
I
way.
just
I still feel like
about
it's
it.
rude, it's impolite to talk about politics and religion. Um, because it's just rude. And you're right, at the dinner table, none of that. And to me, it's the same etiquette here. I keep that same etiquette. Again, I don't tell others because there are political channels. There are these channels that have these conversations, but that's how I was raised. And some things I'm just old school. I'm willing to learn and evolve, and my opinions have changed, guys. Trust me, when I was younger, I was a liberal. I was a lot more liberal, and I'm still very open to things, but with my age has come more conservatism.
It's
Sorry.
wisdom. It's
Yeah.
wisdom. That's what it is. With age comes wisdom. With age comes knowing better. And I was raised a Democrat that came from a long line of Democrats. You know, that's the way that it was. And it took a little bit like of me
You're
researching and things, and I'm just like, they're all messed up. They all are. I'm a patriot, and I just want the country to do well. I don't want to spend, $40 for a case of eggs. I don't.
no, and they're already almost like
That's
$20 for a case of
that's
eggs.
what I care about, damn it. I don't care who's a man changing into a woman and a woman into a man, and I don't
Right.
care about
That's
like
personal
live
choice.
and let live. That's your
Right.
personal thing. It doesn't bother me, never did. None of it ever did. If you're gay, you're lesbian, you're non-binary, you're
Right.
listen, okay, that's what you are. I
Right.
just don't want to spend $40 for eggs, damn it. I'm looking at like the economy, and I'm like, hello. Why does everything need to be identity politics? It just drives me crazy. It really does. And
And
and,
I'm
and
just
I
worried
equate
about,
that.
and I'm just worried about the kids. I'm worried about these mass shootings. There was one again today. That's what
Yes,
I'm
the
worried about. And
schools,
I don't
the
think that
schools.
I used to feel differently about guns. Um, and I feel like I said, I used to feel differently, and now I realize that people have the right to bear arms as long as they do it responsibly.
Yes,
Um, and you have the right to protect yourself from a tyrannical government and to protect your home
that's right.
from
That's what it was
somebody
for.
invading your home. And so I would never tell anybody. I just think we need better mental health.
Mental
We
health.
need
That's
better
what we
mental
need.
health.
Cindy, that is the key right there.
Yeah.
There's not enough mental, and just like I said, it takes a few months to get the help that a person needs. And you could be begging and, outcry, and
Yes.
nothing happens. Okay, this is the perfect example. Jen, those cops knew damn well that she had an issue. Like they knew she was not like quite right in the head. And I get it, not being right in the head is not against the law. However, shouldn't we
Thank
be
you.
looking to
Yes.
help people like that instead of just ignore them and walk away because they're not breaking a law? Shouldn't we be? It's like when they did away with a lot of mental hospitals, they just allowed people to kind of flounder in their
Yes.
horrible mental health. Just
Yes.
kind of like, a damn fish out of water, flopping all over the
Yes.
place. That's
Yes.
the
I
way I
agree.
look at it.
I agree. That's what happened here in New York when we were shut down because of Covina. Everyone was just thrown to the streets. No medication regulation. People were hitting people, yelling at each other, yelling at themselves in the street. It was like and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to homeless people because I was homeless, but it was like a zombie movie. That's what it
Yeah.
seemed like. Nobody on the streets, all the stores boarded up, and people, like that's what it looked like, and I was terrified. Like, what the actual fuck? Looks like
Right.
the end of the world. You know what I mean?
Right. Instead of ignore them, why not try to
Exactly, Viva.
I don't know. Why can't we? And I'm not saying that like, I don't see, this is why I'm not an expert and I don't know
That's
what
where I
the
was,
answer
Vera.
is, but there's got to be something when it's obvious that somebody is in crisis. And just because they don't threaten their own life, but you can see that they're in crisis and you have the proof and you can show it over and over and over again. I mean, here in Florida, I know because I Baker acted someone.
Right.
And it was actually very easy to do. That's why watching Jen thing, that's why I'm like, these cops are so damn fugazi. Like the person who helped me was a cop
Mhm.
and told me what needed to happen in order to the Baker Act to happen, and what will happen once the Baker Act happens. And it was kind of like just yesterday when they said that officer or Sergeant Brown was coming, or Captain Brown, I don't remember, Brown, whatever, but he's somebody in charge. He's the one who actually
William.
took the opportunity to look at the videos that were being sent in and the threats that Jen was saying. And
Yeah.
he was the one who showed up to her house when she
Sergeant
was
Brown,
arrested.
right?
Yes, Sergeant
Yeah.
Brown. He was the one. So it only takes one cop, and it doesn't mean that they're an asshole for doing so. It means they're trying to help somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they're trying to offer some sort of help and within their scope. That's
But
all it
honestly,
takes
she
is
hadn't
one person.
broken the law until then. They were frustrated.
Yeah.
They were frustrated. But
But
there
why
was
doesn't
nothing they could
Ohio
do.
have that? A Baker Act
New
or
York doesn't
something?
have it either. JJ, remember when I was telling you that a family
You
member
did.
from Florida was like, "Oh, Baker
Yep.
Act," and I was like, "We don't have that here." And she was like, "Yes, you do." I was like, "No, the fuck we don't have
Yeah,
that."
no, here we do. Here
You
we
know,
do.
yeah.
And it was
She lives in
actually
Florida, so
very
she was like,
easy.
"Yeah, Baker." I was like, "We don't have that here," and
Yeah.
so they don't have that. Even one of the videos, 5150, Jen thinks it's not a thing because they call it something else in Ohio, because even the officer, when she was in the precinct and she said 5150, the officer said, "What is that?" And I thought that was the strangest thing. How does the officer not know what a 5150 is? But if it's called something else, I would still think you would know the equivalent of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
As a cop, wouldn't you know what a 5150 would equate to in your
You
state?
would think, but remember, police officers, they're not mental health officers. They're not even
That's
trained in
very
it.
true.
And
That's very true.
it's a very recent
That's
thing where
very true.
certain departments that have a little bit more money are starting to train their officers in
Yes.
recognizing and dealing with mental health situations, which will be a help. But here,
Yeah.
I'll just say, it was my boyfriend from high school that I dated all throughout high school, and then for a tiny bit after. We had him Baker acted because I don't exactly know what happened, but it was almost like he had this snap, and
Right.
became like lethargic, really wouldn't speak, kind of almost like comatose, but there was nothing physically wrong with him. However, an officer was able to tell us what we needed to do. We did it. Boom. He was taken in. He had absolutely no choice. He was Baker acted. He was medicated.
Yeah.
He got the help that he needed, and he stuck with it. And
You're
I
right.
still talk to him till this day. Till this
Yeah.
day. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be 44 next month, and
Mhm.
he was my first real boyfriend for 4.5 years, and still I talk to him. So I don't know what it was. It was some sort of mental break that he
Yeah.
had, but we were able to do that. My parents, because he had ended up staying with us for a while. It's a big long story with his parents and all, but he had ended up staying with us for a while, and we were the ones to be able to get him the help that he needed. And I'm so grateful. I didn't realize all states don't have that.
Right. I didn't, yeah, we don't. And Teresa says she didn't know what a 5150 is either. But in juror number 6, I definitely agree with you. I think that politics is ingrained in so much, and it all
Yeah,
comes down to money. It definitely
it
does.
does.
And I do also believe that money is being spent abroad that should definitely go into services and things that we need here.
Gee, you think? You think
Definitely.
we could
Yeah.
be spending those billions of dollars on opening up clinics, on
Yes.
education, on not ever using a substance, on education, rehabs, things that don't cost the normal everyday human being that's an addict already and has nothing, $30,000 a month just to get help. It's beyond me how our government
Right.
just wastes money that they do, and do not put it towards what we actually need, which is a lot of mental health.
But I also
That's
wanted
what
to
we need.
say that someone on Reddit that was so smart was saying that instead of calling the police, what needed to be done was crisis center.
Yeah.
In Ohio should have been notified, because they know how to deal with the mental health aspect of
But I
that.
think someone was. But I think someone was because there was a mental health lady that had come out to talk to Jen not too long ago.
No, that was, you know what that was? That was a worker that dealt with, because she accused him of R.
Oh,
When she accused
okay.
him of R, they had a crisis worker that came to deal with that kind of situation, but it wasn't specifically a mental health crisis.
I
You
gotcha.
understand? It was to
Okay,
deal with
yeah,
that crisis. But it was like when someone had suggested it, Jen was arrested the same day. So someone suggested it and it was great information. They were even like, listen, don't call the police. Don't overwhelm the police. You call this crisis number and you let them know, and they will have crisis workers come out that can evaluate her and can take it from there. But the wheels were already in motion, and Jen was already at that point already going to jail because she had spiraled so bad and had put her hands on Mike. And he finally
right.
had enough. Once the daughter was removed, because Mike was a big enabler too, but I think once the daughter was removed, I think that that was a big reason why he stayed, especially Vince. Vince stood that long because
Yeah,
Vince helped her raise her kids, and he couldn't take it anymore. They had been 3 years with her living with Clint. They had a bit of peace, and then when she came back, Vince was like, "Hell no." And Mike
yeah.
dealt with it because of the daughter, but as soon as the daughter was gone, you could see emotions were boiling over, and he was like, "I'm
Well,
done. I'm done with this
and
bullshit."
what was my first question to you yesterday once we found out that Jen got arrested? I said, Cindy, how do you think she was gonna do in there?
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you said to me because you've been in there and we know Jen's attitude and her master manipulator BS. And do you think
Mhm.
other inmates will see right through that shit because they're
Yeah,
also
I think that
master
she'll try.
manipulators?
I thought that she would go in and still try to manipulate and do that, but it's gonna take one person to snap her. Like, what, bitch? What did you say? Because also when you're locked up, right? I know here in New York, I'm in Jersey, but in New York, you're put into a cell with a bunch of women. And if a Karenina keeps calling the officers, them officers get pissed off and they'll just ignore you. And so if she's in with women and she gets stupid with the women, the cops will let somebody else smack her up real quick. They won't let them harm her, like beat her down, but they'll let her get smacked one good time. You know what I mean? To wake her up out of that, like, so she'll simmer the fuck down. But I think that again, it's a weird line. Jen knows who she can manipulate. She has a better chance at manipulating men. So I think she would try it with officers. I don't think she would try it with women. I think she would try to come off as a Billy badass. Yeah, I punched them in the mouth. Women will see through that too, and they may just let her tell her story because there's some crazy women when you get arrested that are just talking. You let them talk as long as they're harmless. But if she gets crazy and she's gonna learn real quick. So it could go either way. I think that Jen knows, and she knows when to pull back, just like in that video where she was talking to the cop crazy like she usually does. And when he laid down the authority, no, you're not gonna talk to me like that because we're gonna, like, letting her know, but you're gonna go to jail. Like, it's gonna be real
Yeah.
bad for you. And she snapped out of that. Yes, sir. Put her phone down and everything. What do you want me to say? It's just because I'm not used to the cops coming. Bitch, the cops come there almost every day. Fuck you mean you're not used to the cops coming?
No, what I think she meant is I'm not used to anybody holding me accountable or
Yes,
being
I
so
know, but
strong
she
with
tried
their
to
words.
manipulate. I'm just not used to the cops coming. Do you forget that they know how many times they get there? And then she said, "Oh, I'm just feeling anxious, whatever." Like, girl, it didn't work. It didn't work. They were over it. And she tries that. She tries all these different tactics, and then she gauges their response to see what's working, and it wasn't working because people are tired. The neighbors are tired. Everybody's tired.
Hmm. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's something going on there. I don't think that it's all mental health either. which makes it even more complicated, and it makes it like beyond our scope. We're
Yes,
not
it does.
doctors. We can only give opinions, and we can only talk
Yep.
about things that we have experienced in life. I
Yes.
have somebody in my family who is just like Jen if they aren't taking
Yeah.
lithium. The
Yeah.
lithium, granted, I understand that it can be harsh on your kidneys and you have to be careful, but
Yes. Yes.
is it what kind of life is it if you're
Right.
just going to live to constantly be arrested?
Right. And I
I
remember,
mean,
yeah, and you're right, you're number six. Jen is a manipulator. I know
mhm.
him. She even said, "This is the dog that they're mocking online." Like what?
Chaos or
He has
something like that,
coordinated.
yeah.
Like, girl, I cannot. And she's able to do that. She's been able to do that because they've extended her the courtesy that they were like, she's harmless, she's harmless. But once they had evidence that she put her hands on somebody, now you committed a crime. Now you actually committed a crime that can be that there was proof of. His lip was bleeding. His lip was
Yeah,
bleeding. Before when he said, "Oh, she put her hands on me," they're like, "Okay." His lip was bleeding. You can't deny that now. You know what I
right.
mean? So she really had committed a crime, and it's not. She's gonna be out. She'll be out tomorrow. Um, and again, I don't want people to go to jail, right? I'm not like, haha, bitch, you in jail. I think she needed a wake up call. She needed to know that she cannot try to use the justice system against other people, not keep threatening people. I'll get you arrested. Because she kept saying that, "Oh, Mike, you're going to jail now. You're going to jail now." He was like, "No, you're going to jail." But she honestly believed that that would not happen, that she would never go to jail, that they would never arrest her. And that is what I meant when I said this needed to happen. She needed to go to jail because she needs to be shaken. Like, Jen, you can go to jail, bitch. You're gonna go to jail. You need to get a grip. She's homeless. She's gonna be homeless on the 31st or the 30th, whatever. She has court dates coming up. Her She lost her
Think
relationship. She's lost
think about
everything.
it. Think about it,
Everything.
Cindy. She lost two homes that she had that she could go in between. She
Yes.
lost three men who were basically at her beck and call. She has three children, two of them who want nothing to do with her, so much so that they asked the courts to intervene to where she shouldn't
Yeah.
even be speaking about them.
Yeah.
She and was evicted. She has
Yep.
nothing. She has lost everything. She doesn't have a job. I mean, this should be her rock bottom. Um, am I going to celebrate if she continues to spiral? No. Am I
No.
going to celebrate if she starts to get better? Not really, because she did a lot of shitty things. I just
Yeah.
want her to go on and live her life. That's all. Don't
Exactly.
go online and harass people the way you do and say disgusting, like sexual deviant type shit that she
Yeah.
was always
It
saying. Like it
always
was
has a sexual
always,
component.
yes, always some sort of really nasty sexual component. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Always.
Everything she accused always had something sexual to do with it. It
Yeah.
was gross, gross.
Yeah. And I just think that it's funny too because Camden, and we love Camden. Camden is
Of course,
our
yeah.
people's. Camden was
Camden.
Camden was kicked out of Amzi's chat yesterday.
What?
Yeah. Camden and Alice, Clint's mom,
Oh, I knew Alice was, but I didn't know
and so was
Camden was. Wow.
Camden. Yeah, I guess for
Mm.
defending Alice, Miss Alice. And it's funny because when Jules was saying she didn't want Alice in her chat because she
Yep.
thought it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
She was villainized. She was villainized. How dare you, yada yada yada. But Amzi ousted her because she said her son ghosted her. Your son ghosted me, and what is first of all what? What? Him ghosting you, and we should be happy, right? We wanted no, not we, whatever people, because I didn't shit ain't got nothing to do with me. Clint removed himself. He went and got a RO,
Completely.
whatever. People are saying stop coming online. He's done that. He's doing his TikToks, not bothering anybody. He's not engulfed in YouTube, coming into chats, antagonizing Jen. He's moved on. He's moved on. That's what you want. If I genuinely care about somebody here, one of my friends, they're in a bad situation and I'm trying to help them get out of it. They remove themselves and they're trying to get away from the whole community that was toxic. Why would I fault them for that?
Nah, I
Think it's
agree. I
ghosting.
agree.
I think it's getting healthy mentally.
I think for me, I can understand again both
Yeah, Viva.
sides. I think that, if you're the person who's sitting here helping this man, putting your neck on the line, getting a bunch of shit, um, I can understand the frustration. However, I think everybody also needs to remember that the people who put these videos and things out, they monetize them. So, and we're able to collect super chats, cash apps, all of those things based
Mm-hmm.
upon what they were doing. So the
Yeah,
whole, oh, Clint wants nothing to do with me, the way I saw it is Clint wants nothing to do with the drama or the internet. And I
exactly.
applaud I applaud him for that. And when I
Yeah,
heard Dove Kitty call Clint, I mean, she was basically dogging on Clint, and I get that because the man ain't innocent. He's not.
right,
However,
right.
with the mother in chat, you don't want to be calling him an effing this or you just like
It's
there's
just
a
about
certain.
respect, like,
It's
yeah, you can have
yeah,
your
that's all it
opinion.
is.
You can have your
Respect.
opinion, but especially because what happened was that they always made Alice feel so welcome.
Yeah.
Alice was always an integral part in their chats. So this woman is, saying all this stuff, and Alice is giving her opinion, and now it turns on her. And I
Yeah.
think that that's a little fucked up. You know what I mean? Like there was no
It
reason
is.
to.
There was no reason. There was no reason for her if she was allowed in there before, and just because Clint isn't talking to you anymore, you got to expect a mother is going to stand up for her son regardless. They're just going
Exactly.
to do
Like I'm
that.
gonna
They're
take
going to
your
do that.
side over my kid. Like yes, and
Right.
that's why it's weird. There should have been lines, that boundaries, but it wasn't.
Boundaries. Yeah.
And now those lines are blurred, and now you're trying to draw a line in the sand that should have been drawn
And the
there
kids,
before. Like
I'm
okay,
sorry, but listen, if anybody interviews anybody in Siwa's or goes real life on Siwa or whatever, girl, you better not say a freaking peep because you don't care that you have Jen's kids in your chat. Okay? You don't care about that. You don't care about Mike's kids in a chat, which is not even related to Jen. Not
she
related
had him on the
whatsoever.
panel, though, JJ.
She,
She doesn't
yeah,
care.
I
She
mean,
doesn't
and
care.
yeah, and on panel, and then wants to say, I don't go real life. I don't blah blah blah. I'm above that. It's everybody else is just
No,
terrible. I would never, and it's that holier than thou attitude. Girl, you went lower than low,
yeah,
lower than low. You've done things that nobody would ever think to do, and you're the one who gave Jen a effing platform after those videos came out about Jen clearly abusing Clint. And
yeah.
you want to say, I'm a DV advocate. I DV. No, you're a liar. That's my opinion.
Yeah. And I just and again, people can feel however they want. You can cover whatever you want. We're not here telling people one way or another. We just
Nope.
can see it from all sides. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
and to each his own. We don't. We're not getting in the middle of it because I could already feel the storm coming, and that's fine. You feel like we are whatever you feel your opinion's valid. Yep, 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 yep,
I
yep.
don't care, Cindy. You know what? We have a right to our opinions too.
Yes, we do.
And we've stayed
Yes,
pretty
we
damn
do.
neutral and said that everybody has a point. But when it comes to Siwa, nah, man. No. What
No,
she's been doing lately is
no.
just no. It's dirty. You should never. She knows what she's doing. She's trying to get the views. Whatever she's
And
got
then,
to
but
do, I
to act
guess.
like you're so above it when you're not, just be
Right.
honest. Yep, I get down and
No.
dirty too. That's it.
I would never, never. For one, I wouldn't have had Brandy to begin with. I wouldn't have done that interview. For two, I would have never put Mike's kids on panel.
Yeah, no, not
I
the
would
kids.
not have
Not the kids.
Jen's kids in chat. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't feel comfortable. God, how do you even feel comfortable with that? How do you criticize somebody who is a kid of the person you're criticizing? That kid is in chat. I don't know. I guess I'm a little different.
Yeah, it's a hard place to be, and I understand that. Like with the eldest son, um, he has the right, like, because I did see him in Terry Lynn's, but she was steadily still talking about him, and so when do they get afforded a place to share? It's a hard place,
I know
but
it is.
but
It is.
but somebody like Siwa that's exploiting the situation. Don't act like you care because you really don't. The difference is Terry Lynn does care. That's the difference because Terry Lynn's tried authentically to get through to Jen. That is the
Yes, she
difference,
has.
right?
She has
Terry
absolutely.
Lynn has
And
tried authentically and had to pull away, and she's been attacked crazily. Okay, and Siwa
bad,
comes after
bad.
Siwa, but Siwa, no, it's not the same thing. She was
No, it's not.
opportunistic, in my opinion, and
Me
I
too.
think that that's the difference. So Tyler being afforded a place in the chat with Terry Lynn is very different because the reason that Terry Lynn is saying things about Jen is very different. She tried to be there as a genuine friend to her and
She
tried
did.
to overlook all the bull crap she was saying.
And
So
up
that's why
until
it's very different, in
recently,
my opinion.
up until recently, and Maria did too. So
Yes.
I think everybody needs to take a step back because they want to be like, oh, well,
Thank
you
you,
allowed
Viva.
Jen to do this, you allowed blah, blah,
Good
blah.
night,
Listen,
Welsh.
all y'all tried to get along with Jen, tried to like talk sense into her, whether it was coming from a caring place or a place of you not wanting her to talk about you and your kids anymore, whatever place it's coming from, all
And
y'all
Jules trying to make
tried
her
to
laugh
have.
and
Right.
right.
Tried to have some sort of like moment there. So pointing the fingers like, but you talked to her, you were in the chat, you were this, you were that. Listen, you
Oh,
can't
thank you,
get mad
Mikey.
at somebody because they went into a chat if you were behind the scenes talking to the person.
Yeah.
Like everybody had a role in it. So that's why I say I'm completely neutral and everybody has valid points.
Yes.
Everybody's made mistakes in the
Everybody has valid points, and
mhm.
nobody can tell anybody else how they should react. And that's fine. We just have to stop condemning each other when people have tried in
Right.
multiple different ways to handle the situation how they see fit. Some people try to handle it with levity, some people try to handle it with empathy, and some people are just like, I'm over it. And each person has the right to do that. We just have to let people deal with what they're dealing with or handle it how they handle
In
it.
their way, in
Because the
their
more,
way.
right, in their way, in their time, because the more input we add to it, the more fuel we add to it, the more we antagonize the situation. We want it to die down.
Oh man, I
So we
empathize.
all have
I
to allow that.
empathize with I empathize with Savage, her
Oh,
job being called
definitely.
and almost losing her
Definitely.
job and being a single mother and spending $3,000 to
Definitely.
go to court because of Jen, and I can sympathize with that. I can sympathize with the fact
Oh my
that
God, me
Jen is
too.
not shut the fuck up about Terry Lynn. Oh my
Straight.
God, poor Terry Lynn, she gets the brunt of everything and saying all kinds of things about her. I
And just
understand
like
her
Jules, this like crazy. And she's
anger.
doing the same thing to Savage. That's the thing. She
Yeah.
moves on to a new target. She moves on. I was even told she
Yes.
did it to Miss Manda. Like it's continuous, and she just moves on. So who am I to tell them how they should feel? She's never targeted me to that extent. And when she talked on me one time, I already came here and told her where to go. So I can't say if
I
I was the
liked
target.
it. I liked it more, so much more, and I think it was better for the subs. And I'm being honest here, okay? And this is not an insult to anybody, but I thought it was amazing when Jules and Terry Lynn would get on panel and their banter and the stop scrolling. I would laugh
Me too.
so hard, and it was so cool. So to see, and and Amanda too, and getting up and throwing her stuff in, and it breaks my heart to see it all kind of like fall to pieces over Jen Bailey. Like,
Exactly. And that's why we have to just let it do what it do.
Yeah.
without antagonizing and trying to cause bigger rifts between them. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that
No.
because they had a genuine friendship. So I'm not gonna, try
They
to
were
get them
they
to.
were fun together. Whether they had a genuine, whether even if it was just a professional relationship that they had getting on panel together, I
Yeah,
loved it. I'm like, oh
yeah,
my god, you guys are so much better as allies than you are as
yeah,
enemies. And that's just the way I see it. But I get it. Not everybody sees eye to eye. I just don't think it should be over Jen Bailey. I don't. If
no,
you're gonna have a fallout, like everybody has to realize that nobody can control another person and everybody has the right to their feelings for whatever it is.
yes,
Because
and
if
they're
somebody
valid.
comes, and they're valid, and if somebody comes for my kids, there's not a person, I can promise you, not even Cindy, who's going to tell me how to handle
No,
somebody coming after my kids, because I would lose it. So
yeah,
that's why I understand all points. I do, and it just sucks, man. It
yeah,
sucks. It sucks. It sucks for the subs.
yeah. And it sucks for the people involved because they feel hurt and sad and upset, and I don't know. I just really want everyone to just take a moment and
Yeah.
not judge
Yep.
so harshly somebody else and just let things work themselves out the way they're going to work themselves out. That's it.
Mhm.
And people feel some kind of way, and that's fine. You have the right to feel how you want to feel. But I can tell you, we're not causing trouble, trying to cause people to fight or bicker, or we're not in chats of people that are not liking each other, egging it on, talking shit. We're not doing any of that. So judge us on how we treat you. Don't judge us on because, oh, she's still in the chat of somebody I don't like. Judge us on how
Exactly.
we treat you and what we're not talking about you. Judge us on that.
Right.
Judge
And if
us
you don't like, or if you don't like something that Cindy and I said today,
on.
that's okay. I just
Yeah, of course.
would ask that you be an adult and come to either of us, that if we said something, and let us know in DMs so we're aware of it and we're not just kind of given the cold shoulder, because
Yeah,
that is very passive aggressive, and we're not dumb, we can feel that stuff.
we can
So if
definitely feel it.
even with the subs, they look at you like, oh well, you're over there, or you're over there. Listen, no creator is going to tell me where to go ever, and neither is a sub. I can tell you that now. There are reasons why if there's a topic I want to chat about, I'm going to chat about it, and I don't care
Yeah,
who likes it and who doesn't. I just don't.
right.
And I wish that everybody says, oh, I don't care where you go, I would never stop, blah 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 blah. But there are some that obviously care.
Yeah.
That's
There
all I'm going
are,
to say.
and we see it and we understand, and but again, just focus on us, um for
For who
how
we are.
we treat
Right.
you. Yeah, for who we
Hmm.
are. Right? No makeup. I know. I know, but yeah, so I'm still waiting for the package to come from Shay so that we could get it out to Happy. Um, and so that's what we wanted to talk about. We just, it was the elephant in the room because it had just happened to Jen Bailey. And of course, like, it's, you can see she's not in our title, she's not in our thumbnail. It's not like a break the story because we knew when it happened. I could have went live. We could have went live soon
You
as
didn't
we found
hashtag,
out.
right? You didn't even
No,
hashtag it, and you
no,
could have. And
no way.
it's not a money thing. We're just coming here and saying,
Giving our
just
opinions. That's it.
trying to be neutral and trying to come from a place of being a sub as well and a
Yeah.
member as well to other
Yes.
channels, and just how we feel. And we have this little bit of a
Mhm.
platform, and we're just trying to explain it. And I just wish that
Yep.
Jen Bailey
Yep.
was not the reason for relationship breakdowns. That
Right.
sucks. She
Yeah.
doesn't deserve that. Jen
She
doesn't
doesn't.
deserve to be the reason that
No.
relationships break up. She just
No.
doesn't. She needs to go
Yep.
off on her own, whatever, whatever. Let a person treat you a certain way, or, but, and again, I'm only speaking from what I've seen. There could be things behind the scenes,
That
because
we
that
don't
happens a
know
lot,
of.
that
That
we
we
don't
aren't aware of.
know. And
Yes.
that could change something entirely different. But I
Yeah,
just want to say that when everybody was friends, it was so fun. And I
it
would laugh
was.
so hard to where my
It
stomach
was
would be
so fun.
hurting. I would wake my husband up because
Thank
I'm in
you.
bed, supposed to be going to sleep while he's snoring away. And I would just start belly laughing,
Yes,
hysterical. And he would wake up like, what you laughing at?
yes,
these,
right?
these,
It
these,
was
these
hilarious.
bitches on panel are hilarious.
They were. And you know what? You never know what the future holds. That's why we have to be very careful what we add to the conversation. I remember I was taught if you have nothing nice to say, sometimes don't say anything. If you have
Right.
nothing productive or positive to add, sometimes just keep it to yourself and allow the chips to fall where they may, as it said.
Vent to your friend. Vent to your very,
Yes.
very,
Yes.
very, very, and I say very, very close friend. Don't vent to
Yes.
everybody in a Discord because them bitches be
No,
showing and
that's not private.
screenshotting and showing. That ain't private. It's people that
Unless
you
you
absolutely
trust the
trust.
people and stand behind what you say. That's important.
Exactly.
Stand behind what you say. That way you're never shocked if something comes out. You're like, yep, I said that. Yep, yes, yes,
Right.
ma'am.
And the
Yes, ma'am.
problem for me with that is there's got to be context
By
too, because
running.
anything could be made to look absolutely
Yeah,
horrible,
definitely.
and just and venting is healthy. It could be like this, like I'll go to Cindy, did you see this? Oh my God, this happened. Or,
Yeah.
if I'm not able to keep up, and then Cindy will notify me of something that happened. And, it's interesting, and it's supposed
Thank
to
you.
be fun. And a lot of times it is fun. And a lot of times I do laugh, but lately it's been very dark.
Vera said Discord's an evil. I listen, I ain't mad at you, Vera. I ain't mad.
Yeah,
Vera's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
nope, nope, no Discord. And I get it. And I get it. And that's why I don't want to be in channel Discords, none of that. I don't want none of that.
No.
I'm in a Discord with my friends where we could talk on the phone and all of that. And it's like, what, five of us? That's it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's where we're just a friend group. It's no plotting. It's not like I don't have mod chats and none of that. None of that.
No, and honestly, and I'm so
Not the
grateful
same
for
people that have it.
Discord.
No, no shade. No shade. Fuck.
No, and honestly, people that it
We love
if
you
you
too.
go in there with a true heart, and you go in there, with an open heart, and talking to people, Discord is how I got to know Cindy. So do
Yes.
I look at Discord as this horrible thing? Absolutely not. I do not. I don't. I
No.
think it's what you make of it and what you're willing to share on it. So if you're talking behind a friend's
Yes.
back and you don't expect that it will get out, I can promise you your Discord is probably being screenshotted, and it will
Yeah.
get out. As soon as you piss
Yeah.
someone off, those
Yeah.
screenshots are going to be shown.
They've been screenshotting since day one. So
Yeah.
just
Yep.
just be prepared for that and just don't say anything that you would be afraid that for it to get out. And that's why anything I say, I stand behind it. I don't talk about my friends behind their backs. I don't talk about people that I like behind their
You
backs.
don't. You
Don't
honestly,
do
I
that.
can tell
Yeah.
y'all that Cindy doesn't.
You don't do that either
She
though.
doesn't.
So,
She doesn't. Even when there's people that we have known together and I've seen some stuff, Cindy doesn't talk behind people's back. Even if she might be frustrated or whatever, she doesn't do that.
no.
And
Just
that is something, the way that I look at it, as I know that she doesn't do it to other people, so I can trust that I know she doesn't do it to me.
never.
So,
Never.
you got to look at a person and their behaviors, because I can promise you, if they're willing to do it to someone else, they're going to do it to you,
Yes.
especially online. I
Yes.
am guilty of being caught in situations like that where it's been done to me. And I
Yeah.
thought I was different. I thought I'm
Same.
bringing, maybe something to the table, but nah, I was just another person that can be outed for whatever and used for content. So, we learn, we live and learn. What is this?
Yes. Just bye. Anyway.
Wait, hold up.
Did you see it?
Talk a big game, girl, but what did you do when that KK girl went after your child on Twitter? You randomly mentioned her. Shush up. Are you talking about Kiki Ray?
Yeah.
Because I've said it many, many times.
Yes, she
That's
did.
never going to die. When
No.
I die, I'm going to die with a flag on my goddamn plot that says Kiki Ray is a bitch for threatening my daughter. I've said it many
Exactly.
times,
She
and I
said
said
it.
I'm never
She said it.
going to let up on that. So no, this isn't talking a big game. It's not.
It's not.
It's
She's
not.
honest, and she said it
I am
many
honest.
times
I
that
will
she will
destroy
mention
a
her
person.
anytime she wants.
I
And
do.
I just think it's
I
funny
randomly.
if you have something to say coming under your account. We're here under our, I'm showing my face, and
Right.
JJ, you know who JJ is. It's always the people that want to talk the most and the rah rah shit that make a sock account to say it.
Right. And typically a
So
troll
you want to
coming in
say
to
that
say
she's a big
something,
fat Billy badass, but she's here under letting you know who she is.
I can promise you there's no big fat Billy badass when it comes to one of my kids.
Thank you.
It is pure I will harm a person. Okay? That's the way it goes. And I've made that
And she
clear, and
said it.
I make no apologies for it, and I wouldn't even be addressing you if you didn't say went after your child on Twitter. I'm very well aware of what happened. And
Yeah,
I've not let that go till this day. And I will never
exactly.
let it go. There is no
No.
forgiveness.
And you have
A
the
person
right.
could,
That's your child.
yeah, that's right. That's right. And they threatened my child, flat out threatened.
For no reason,
And
because
some
she had
people
nothing
try
to
to
do with
make
any of this
excuses.
stupid shit. So
Right,
you
right.
handle
My
your shit
child, my
as you
daughter.
want to in the shadows, obviously, and JJ will handle it how she handles it
See,
with
would
her.
I ever do that? Would I ever do that? Come in a sock and make
Nope.
some kind of no, hell no. You know what? If
Nope.
I'm gonna make a comment like that, it's gonna say JJ right next to it, because I want people to know who I am. If I'm gonna make a big old bold comment like that,
Yeah.
don't play when it comes to my kids. I've said that a million times. Don't play, because you will get an entirely different side of me. Entirely different. I will no longer be the fun, yay, JJ. No. The easygoing, make fun of myself, JJ. No. Not when it comes to my kids.
Yep. Yep. They always are. They have the most to say. They want to come at her, hush up.
Nah,
Hush up unless
I
you get
don't have to
somebody with a
hush
real
up.
account.
I
I know
say
you
whatever the
don't.
fuck
I
I
know you
want,
don't. I know.
especially when it comes to, oh, I'm a Billy Badass. Oh, you don't do nothing. I don't do nothing. Are you kidding me? She will never go anywhere without me saying this person threatened my child. I've
And
said it
then
a million
no,
times.
but you don't do
I
anything, JJ. But then if you say something, then you're aggressive and you're
Yes,
violent and all this
right.
shit. Like, get the
Well,
fuck
I
out.
no longer care about that. Anybody
No,
who
I
says that,
know.
they
I'm
can
just
go fuck
saying it's
themselves,
ridiculous.
because when it comes, but that's what has happened, right? They come for my kid, and then if I say something
You
back,
either
it's
do
look
that.
how unhinged she is.
Yeah,
Goddamn right.
exactly.
I will come
Exactly.
unglued. I'll come unhinged. I'll come whatever you want to call it when it
Sure.
comes to one of
Bust
my
that door
kids.
down. Fuck a hinges. We don't have
Goddamn right.
hinges on
And
the
and
door.
guess what? Cindy will too. And if
Yes.
you fuck with her kids, I will too. We don't play. Don't mess with kids.
Just stop
Don't.
messing with people's kids. We don't mess with people's
Don't
kids.
even mention them.
Channels.
Otherwise, you are going to be a feature in our damn live like you are right now, being a big old pussy ass bitch coming in under a sock.
Clementine. Clementine. I stay away from Twitter, Viva la. That's fucking hilarious. It's always the pendejas, the fucking cowards. You coward. You fucking coward. Anyway,
Right? I would
enough
never.
said. We
It's like
don't
if
do that
I've got something to say, I'm gonna goddamn say it from my mouth, from JJ, my name, so that
for
way you
free.
can address me if you got something to say back. I ain't gonna
Right.
pretend be under no sock. I don't know. Don't threaten my
Well,
child,
there's
honey.
coming at you for not like for not for being like cowardly, I guess. That's the fucking irony is hilarious. Hilarious.
I'm
Anyway,
telling you what, I'm not even a
we
violent
understand with
person,
that.
but I'll tear a person limb to limb like a goddamn. Humans are animals, okay? We are. And I will tear you from limb to limb. Do not
She,
come after my kids.
she will
Tear
bring out
you
her
up.
animality, boy, from
That's
Mortal
right.
Kombat. Animality.
I'm gonna bring out my lion roar,
Yeah, don't play with it. Don't play with a mama. Don't play with a mama.
my mama bear.
But on that, we always gotta have right. We were having a great stream until an a-hole has to come in, and we that's. But we haven't had trolls in a while, so thank you for that,
I
Clementine.
know, I know.
Clementine, thank
I'm
you
so
for that
glad.
too.
I'm
That
so glad I got to get out that little bit of frustration. Don't play with me, Miss Clementine, because I'm gonna call your ass out too. I'm gonna call it out on my
Come on,
community
baby, don't
post
play with it.
on Twitter. I will randomly call you out on stream. I'll call you out on chats as somebody who talks about other people's kids.
Yes.
Don't think I won't.
Yes, we will. So Clementine.
I am a Taurus. I am
Clementine
a
a fruit?
stubborn ass.
Isn't clementine a fruit?
A really sweet fruit too. This person
Yeah.
ain't so sweet.
Yeah,
But I'll eat her up
fruit.
because that's what I do with clementines. I eat their asses up.
Yes. All right. Get your ass out of here. Fucking clementine. Anyway, all right. We're gonna leave that alone because listen.
Juror number 6. I promise. I don't get like that often, but if it's about my child,
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? You can't even come under your real account. It's hilarious to me. That's right. Come for one of us, come for us all, baby. Come for us all. And come correct. Or get the fuck up out of here. All right?
Come for me, not bringing my kid into it.
Yeah,
Come for me, and you don't even see that.
I don't care.
I'll have a conversation. Yeah, we'll have a conversation.
Be getting it with a win. Be getting it with a win.
You know, the worst that can happen is you're a bitch, whatever. You move on with your life, but bring a child into it, and you will have no arms and legs left.
That's right. Listen, Linda. That's right. Stop that shit. But on that note, we gonna end. Yes, Mama Bear. Yup. Yes, ma'am. We play no games. Leave the kids and the family out of it. Keep your fights with us. You want to talk shit about us all day? That's fine, because we don't watch it anyway, bitches. Just leave people's kids out of it, because that's when you're going to see a side of us, and we don't care. And we don't care. You don't have to like it. Yes, stop fucking with people's kids. Stop fucking with people's kids. Right? Get her a milkshake right now, stat.
Right?
Get her a milkshake, stat.
Give me one. So I'm happy. Oh no, my husband even knows. You think I'm bad? And my husband is not even the biological father of my 2 kids. He is their stepdad, but he's been in their life since they were young. And there was one time there was a problem at the school, and I never heard my husband go off so bad. It was terrible. I'm like, oh my God, you're worse than even me. I mean, you don't mess with a person's little cubs now. You don't do that.
No, you don't. You don't. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. We're not doing that to people. And
I would never.
You don't have to like us, but you obviously watching us, and that's fine. Thanks for the view. But you know what I mean? Like, why mention the kids? Like, keep it where it belongs. We could be bitches all day, yada, yada, yada. Yes, we get it. Just stop, man. Now I want a damn milkshake.
So let me say, that not next stream, because tomorrow is members, and then Wednesday is, I don't know if you said the guest yet out loud. But
yes, BX, I did the thumbnail. Yes, me and BX.
Okay, you did. Okay. Yes. So BX Beast Boy on Wednesday. That's going to be interesting. Cindy's going to be interviewing him. And then
have a conversation with him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a conversation. And then on, I don't know, Wednesday or Sunday, whichever day, because I've been doing some research, because people are loving the streams about victimhood.
Yep.
And what I've been doing is researching a bit on scamming, dry begging, how to handle those kind of things, how to spot them online. So we'll be talking about that, because I've got quite a bit of info on that. So that'll be cool.
That will be this week as well. It's gonna be like a series where we did victim mentality 1 and 2, and then there's like subdivisions of that. The scamming, all these different things of people being able to play the victim, and that's what we're gonna do. But that's terrible, the cloning of people's accounts, and that's why you have to be very careful too. That's why, as a creator, if somebody comes into my chat as somebody else, my mods, that's why it's a good thing my mods can click and see if that's the authentic account. You know what I mean? And see when it was created, because that is a lot of cloning. Shay was also cloned, and Bliss was, that's terrible. So we have to be very careful with that. We do. So
I can't believe Bliss was cloned. I didn't know that.
And they talked about her kids. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's insane. I would love to know who that is.
Yeah. Oh, JJ, look at my nails.
What am I looking?
I'm using one of the sets you gave me.
Oh
Now,
yeah, the
oh,
leopard.
before we end, guys, one thing I wanted to tell you. Hold on. Before we end, let me just show you guys this real quick. Because I didn't, sorry, I have it right here. Hold on. Damn it. Okay, here it goes. Wait, guys. So these are the nails that JJ got me, right? Static nails. Now they
Mm-hmm.
come with a nail file, a glue, but what is great about them is they each have numbers, right? So you see how this is, it goes from biggest to smallest. There's
Mm-hmm.
two rows from biggest to smallest. So, and they're both like this. So, like, let's say this one is my thumb, right? If I size it and this one's on my thumb, it's 0. So on the other one, all I have to do is take the same exact one for the other thumb. It makes it so easy because there's numbers. So I could just try one of these on, put it on a finger and look at the number and say, okay,
Yep.
next one, the same number. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I do when the nails are like all thrown around. I'll put one finger, and if they have numbers, I'll look at the number and know that the next hand, the same number. But these are so easy because they're in size order,
They're
and
very
both rows
easy.
for both hands are organized the same exact way. So I was able to do my nails like in like 5 minutes. The sizing,
Yeah, I use those
sizing is usually
throughout the
annoying.
entire pandemic. That's what I used
Yeah, I
because
love
I
these
didn't
a
have a way
lot.
to get manicures. So
It
those
made
are
it
what I
so
use, and I
easier,
love them.
JJ, because the sizing is what's annoying, having to find each nail. But this,
Mm-hmm.
it was like 5 minutes, the sizing, and it made it so easy. And these are the first set, and I like them because they're short, and I like that design. They're really, really pretty. So thank you for that, JJ. I love them. Wait, Vixie said,
Good.
wait, I have the
Sydney,
spa
JJ,
basket for
Megs.
the youngest if she wants to. Okay, yeah, because Shay wanted to get a spa basket to Jen Bailey's youngest daughter. So Shay and Vixie should talk because she could give her the address to send it to the father's
Right.
house.
Vixie lives close to
Yes,
Jen, so
yes.
they
Thank you,
Vixie is the
Vixie.
person definitely to talk to. Thank you so much, Vixie. You're such a sweetheart, and you've been a
Yes,
great source of
Megs
insight.
is right here. Yes. And sorry, Vixie, Megs is on IG, so that would be the easiest way for you guys to get in contact. I
And
think that
Twitter.
would be great. Oh yeah. I don't know if Vixie's on Twitter though. I'm not on Twitter. I don't know if she's on Twitter.
I don't know either, but you can get her either way.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I thank you guys for being here. I think you guys are awesome. Seriously, you guys are amazing. And we sincerely hope we didn't upset anybody. This was not to upset anybody. It's
No,
funny.
it's
I'm gonna
not.
share this real quick. During the beginning of my stream, I was losing subscribers, and then they went right back up. It was the weirdest thing, but I lost, and then they went right back to normal, which was crazy. Anyway, okay.
So weird.
Yeah. So we are not getting, she's not on Twitter. Okay, so she's on IG. Um, so yeah, you have to find her on IG. Sorry, I got distracted. But we love you guys. We meant no harm to anyone. We just really enjoy everyone.
Right.
And we understand that emotions get high. We just sometimes have to take a step back and breathe, even if it's for a minute. Um, That's all. That's all we're saying. We're not telling anybody how they should react or anything because we
Uh-uh.
understand. We understand, you know? Yeah, so tomorrow's members only, guys. I think it'll be fun. We're going to talk more in depth. We're going to show some people who maybe haven't seen Jen's latest shenanigans, some stuff that's been going on, and just have a more closed conversation. It's weird. A more closed but open conversation where a lot of you guys can talk more openly. So that'll be
Right.
tomorrow.
And we can show examples and give
Yes.
true
Yes.
feelings on that
Yes.
example and get
Yes.
feedback because as a community, we could sit up here and be preaching whatever. All of us can. All of us can
Thank
get up
you.
on our platform and preach whatever. But if you're steadfast in only your thoughts and you don't want to hear other people's opinions, I just don't know how you would grow.
Exactly.
So, I think it'll be amazing tomorrow. As usual, a great conversation where we are just ourselves and we can say as many F bombs as we
Yes,
want.
as we
It's wonderful.
want. Yay. And we're just we're not trying to be a know-it-all because we're definitely not. We're just
Uh-uh.
trying to add into this conversation because we care about so many people, so many of the subscribers, so many of the mods, so many of the creators. And it kind of hurts when you get the cold shoulder from people that you thought were your friends. You know that you've got
And
friends
I
and
think,
it
I'm
hurts. It hurts
sorry.
your feelings. No, go ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just think that also it might be a little bit of a wake up call to creators to realize that there are a lot of us feeling this way. A lot of us. And all of us like each of you, so to get any sort of cold shoulder, or even from the subs, or you're this side, you're that side. We're no side. I'm my side.
Oh,
How's that?
yeah,
I'm in my own little lane over here, and I'm not an expert. And I also haven't had Jen Bailey do anything to me personally. So do I
right.
know how it feels? No, because she hasn't done anything to me personally. So I can't say, don't go after her, don't say this, or don't call, or that's why I'm just a spectator, man.
Yeah.
I say,
And think
I'm
about
not
it like
telling
this though,
no adult.
JJ. If one person wanted us not to be cool with the other people, how would they feel if it was reversed? You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't want us to support this other person, but would you want that done to you? No, we want to support everybody, and and that's it. Just judge us for how we treat you and the things
And
that we say about
again, you and I have both made the mistake of like putting, I guess the best analogy is putting all our eggs in one basket, where we just completely went hard for one
yes,
creator. And
yes,
then we sort of found out that what people were saying was true. And it took a
yes,
little bit for us to find out. But again, I learned from that mistake and don't want to repeat it. And I think that that is the most important thing. So now I love people for who they are. I love the
yes,
chat for who they are. If I feel comfortable
yes,
chatting,
spirit.
I will. If not, I won't.
Yeah.
And I hope that all creators can understand that, because
And we
I'm
don't want to
not
turn on
choosing.
somebody because people feel we should. Because no, we no, we don't want to do that. We're not going to turn on somebody because that's not a thing. We treat people how they treat us, and that's it. I'm not going to turn on somebody because somebody else feels like what they've done is unconscionable or whatever. That's your boundary. I respect it, and we're staying out of it. We're not, and we're not, and I'm sorry. And that doesn't mean that we're not being loyal. I think that's the best way to be loyal. That's
Yeah.
the best way to be loyal.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
that's what we wanted to say about that. But so we thank you for being here and for all those that understand and get it.
Yes, and
And
thank you. Thank you, everybody, except for Clementine,
Clementine,
Kiki
Clementine,
Ray. You can go fuck yourselves. Clementine,
whatever,
and Kiki Ray. Go
whatever.
fuck yourselves. Don't care.
But we love you guys and we thank you all. And Virgie, like a Virgie, thank you for gifting the membership.
Ooh,
Miss
touch
Manda, my
for the
sis,
very
thank you for the
first
super chat.
time. I
And all
love
of
it.
you guys, thank you for being members, subscribers, all that good stuff. Thank you for being here and
Yes, we love
just
you.
listening to us and giving us a chance.
Hmm.
I know, Megs, no, I can't find your damn number. I'm gonna have to get your number because I don't know, something's going on with my phone. But anyway, I love you guys. Te quiero mucho,
Hmm.
como siempre, te adoro, all that good stuff. I will see my members tomorrow and everybody else that sounds a little weird. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it in a creepy way. I meant whatever. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. All right. Good night, y'all. Love you. Okay,
Good night,
okay.
everybody. See
Good
you
night, guys. Love
tomorrow.
you all. Bye, manita. Love
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye,
Love you
guys.
too.